gifted and Safi. Ramadan Mubarak, Holy Records. Ramadan Mubarak لكل مسلم شعر الذي فيها ينازل القرآن.
Brothers and sisters, before we go to our speaker today, I just want to use this opportunity to introduce to you Simplified. I'm going to introduce the person behind it. Again, it was not my duty. It was somebody assigned to do it. But unfortunately, Allah has his way of doing things, inshallah. Simplified was the idea of our sister Bukula Abiola. For the past 1 year, she has been doing this, whereby she reaches out to people who, for some reason, they are Muslims, but they are not fortunate to get the information that me and you have. And with a small effort, she has reached out to a lot of people, especially people within the diaspora and also from Nigeria, where she came from. Alhamdulillah, she has a lot of followers right now on YouTube and other platforms. So it is as a result of this, things are getting better and getting bigger. She reached out to people like myself and Sister Fatima in London and other brothers in Nigeria, and asked us to come together to build up this foundation that she started. Alhamdulillah, she has been doing a lot of work, especially she has been giving out help to people in the community where she came from in Nigeria. She has been helping, especially during this month of Ramadan, the less fortunate, people who cannot help themselves. She has been reaching out to a lot of people. So Alhamdulillah, we want to thank Allah for that, and we want to thank her also for the effort. So without wasting your time, again, I'm going to turn the meeting over to her for her to say a few words before we turn it over to Sheikh Mufti. Bismillah, sister. Okay.
Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. Simplified is my lifelong dream. It's a project that started 11 years ago, and we are where we are today. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. And all of you, we gather here today to support the mission of Allah in the way that is beloved to Allah. Because Allah says we're brothers and sisters, we're the Ummah, joined together with one accord in remembrance of me. I'm delighted. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. The team, the supporters, the fans, the contributors, the donors, the benefactors. May Almighty God, in every way that you have supported this project, may God replenish you in millions of ways. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khairan. Everlasting God, as I always say, I'm just your perfect imperfection. Thank you for making it your perfect imperfections time. I mean, today I'm so delighted, I'm so honored to introduce my friend, my brother, my prayer partner, my supporter. This man, anytime he speaks, you always want to have a paper and a pen, because he is a wealth of knowledge. He is a wealth of knowledge. So today, please get your papers, get your pen, and get your water. I always say that, get your water, get your paper, and get your pen. We're going to learn. This is my brother. He's a world traveler. He has traveled to different states as a public speaker in different languages, different organizations, performing different functions. He's a student of late Sheikh Mohammed Mujtaba. He speaks so highly of him. I think all of us will want, when we're gone, our student to remember us and carry on the flag. And that's what this, my brother, my friend, my prayer partner, has done for his mentor, late Sheikh Mohammed Muftaba. My friend completed the tafsir, the translation of the Holy Quran at the age of 13 under Alhaji Bashir Jacob. He studied fiqh, hadith, and sirah from different scholars in Sierra Leone before leaving for Egypt. Later went to the Netherlands. At the age of 15 and before leaving Sierra Leone, I mentioned 15 Jews of the Quran and currently memorize 22 Jews, striving to become a complete Hafiz and attain Ijaza, inshallah. Founder and chief imam of Masjid Fat in Sierra Leone at the age of 15, subhanallah. Led as an assistant imam at United Muslim Jamaat in the state of Maryland. Taught Quran and Hadith at the Nigerian Islamic Center in Washington, D.C. He's a Quran teacher at Masjid Nur in California. Introduced Quran competition at Masjid Nur in California. Online Quran teacher and gives lectures live on Facebook and Zoom, and of course on the YouTube. Currently is the Imam at Masjid Imam in Columbus, Ohio. He also is a medical professional, a senior nurse, registered nurse. And must I say, he also studied in Nigeria, my home country. And I love when he preaches and he throws the creoles, the pidgin English. He speaks the languages of God in the languages of the heart. He's my friend, my brother, my prayer partner, my confidant, brother, Sulaiman Yasin Jallo. Salam alaikum.
Subhanallah, I don't know if I deserve all of those credit that she was giving me. Astaghfirullah wa yadu billah, a'udhu billah. May Allah forgive us all. May Allah have mercy upon us. Subhanallah, I'm still a student of knowledge, striving to get better in everything that I'm doing. So don't look at me as a great scholar, look at me as a student of knowledge. Before I will start saying anything, I want to ask, there are people on the flyer, doesn't have the code and the login information. They thought you're going to go live on Facebook. So I'm not sure if you're going to be going live or not. People wanted to, we're waiting to see if you're going live. I'm getting messages here on the side. So tech team, I don't know what you guys are planning. Before I start.
No, we're not going live on Facebook.
Okay. Well, the flyer doesn't have any
I'm going to send out the flyer that has the information. I'm going to push it out right now.
Okay, because the one I got doesn't have it.
Yes, I'm going to push it out right now, inshallah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ونطبيب قلوبنا ونور عرش ربنا ونور صدورنا ونور عيوننا ونور قلوبنا سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغ رسول النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because it is a duty upon us to praise Him. Praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because regardless if we praise Him or not, He deserves to be praised. And He is the only one that starts His own book by saying, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Are we good there? Are we good there?
Yes, Bismillah, go ahead.
Bismillah, go ahead. He's the one that starts his own Quran, his own book, and he starts by praising himself. Imagine if a person is writing a book, scholars of the day, literature people writing a book, and they start the book and they just start praising themselves. What do? It turns you off, right? They start by first acknowledging everyone that had helped them. They will start by writing people that all the sources were stuck in the beginning. And then eventually towards the end of the book, that's when they will say, I am this, I am that, I've done this, I've done that. When it comes to the book of Allah and Allah Himself, regardless of who you are, you believe in Him or you don't believe in Him, when He talks, you know Allah is speaking. It's like when the son and the daughter listen to their parent, they know my mother is speaking, my father is speaking. So when we listen to the word of Allah, we know this is the word of Allah. And He starts the Quran and says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All thanks and praises belongs to Allah, the Lord of the whole worlds, the one that is in control of everything that you see and what you don't see. So that's why we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless if the entire dunya comes together and say, let's praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will not increase the position of Allah. It's only us humankind. See, like we have a platform now. The more you have more people following your platform, people coming to your platform, you feel like you're doing more. You have to do more, right? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if the entire dunya come and we say, Alhamdulillah, it does not increase Him. That's Allah. And if the entire dunya comes together and say, you know what, we don't believe in you, Ya Allah, it does not decrease Him. It's me and you. If we have a platform and your people are going down and you're not getting the numbers, you're probably going to say, let me stop for a minute. Let me go think about it. Let me start something new. Let me bring some energy in it. That's us humankind. But the creator and the master creator, subhanahu wa ta'ala, jalla jalaluh, the one that is in charge of you and I, subhanallah, He is the one that is. He said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Surah to Ibrahim. He said, if you thank me, I will increase for you. And if you are ungrateful towards me, my punishment is severe. He didn't say, if you are ungrateful, I don't care. He said, I will punish you. This is Allah speaking. He said, if you thank me, I will add for you. But if you refuse to thank me, my punishment is severe. That tells you that you don't have an option. The only option that you have is one way. And that one way is the 101 Jannah highway that we're taking, that you have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if you don't, even though He's going to give you everything you deserve in this dunya, He will still punish you at the end of the day. Brothers and sisters, we are close to a month that I mentioned the past couple of days, speaking about Ramadan itself, as that's the topic that we're going to be talking about today. It is the month that is mentioned in the Quran by name. Show me one ayah in the Quran that mentioned the other 11 months of the Arabic calendar in the Quran. Show me the names. But the month Ramadan itself is mentioned in the Quran. And it is mentioned in the beginning surahs of the chapters of the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah, the Surah Al-Baqarah, the chapter of the cow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this chapter, in this surah, by the way, it is a surah that have everything about Islam. The pillars of Islam is mentioned in this. The Aqidah built in this surah. Everything built, and then after then, every surah that comes after is just to connect from what was being said in Surah Al-Baqarah. That is why Surah Al-Baqarah is the longest chapter in the Quran, if you know that. And in the surah, the same surah, it is the surah that have the longest ayah in the Quran. Do you know that? If someone asks you which surah has the longest ayah, start writing now. Sister Bokisa, you write. They start writing now. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah have the longest ayah, the second to last page of the surah. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى فَاكْتُبُوا وَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ فَلْيَكْتُبْ وَلْيُمْلِ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقُّ فليتق الله ربه ولا يبخس منه شيئا فإن كان الذي عليه حق فليملي الذي عليه إلى آخر الآية. This is the longest ayah in the Quran from the beginning. I get just half of it. It's in the surah. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the surah, and mentioned about salat first. And then in the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions zakat. Wa aqimu salat wa atu zakat. He mentioned that. And then these are the pillars of Islam. Bunya al-Islam ala khams. شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وصوم رمضان. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. 3 out of the 5 is already been mentioned. أقيم الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة, and now you say وصوم رمضان. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I have prescribed fasting for you. I have prescribed it. This is a commandment. This is a fard. This is the 3rd pillar of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the 4th pillar of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَصَوْمِ Ramadan, wa Muhammad said, and Allah said, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمْ, it is been prescribed upon you. It is been recorded upon you. It has been made as a law. It's a Sharia. And we talked about other nations that Allah destroyed them because they go against the Sharia. And now we have a Sharia that people are giving excuses about. Sheikh, I want to fast. Well, you know, my mama now, my mama is not to go out too much because I have to help my mama. And it's hard. My work, helping my mama, my kid, it's not easy. Yeah, it's your mouth that is saying it. Your mouth is the only thing that is saying it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the fact of it. This is a fard upon you and I, as long as you are mentally correct. Because some people can be mentally disturbed. You are not allowed to fast. People don't think about that. When you are mentally challenged, now don't go and tell the doctor to go actually depression and say, now tell me that if I'm mentally, so go tell them now I have depression, I have a diagnosis of depression, so I'm not fasting. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that have bipolar people, the people of schizophrenia, the people that are going through mental instability. They are struggling. Their mindset is not there. They are on medications. They are on all kinds of Haldol, you name them, and they're going through that. They are exempted from the Ramadan. The young children are exempted from the Ramadan. The young children, the ones that are not of the age of maturity. And when we talk about the age of maturity, we're talking about the young boy. If he didn't start seeing his we call wet dream in Africa before, or they say bush devil, right? I think Nigeria, they say that too. It's not compulsory upon them. You can train them and start asking them to start fasting to get used to it. Unfortunately, today we live in a nation that we don't have the mind to ask our 15-year-old children to fast. We call them the American kids. We call them the American kids. I don't know where that's coming from. What makes them different from other kids from anywhere in the world? But brothers and sisters, you are not allowed to fast if you are mentally challenged. You are not allowed to fast if you have not the age. If you want to fast, Bismillah, you can practice and do. The person, the woman that is pregnant as of the time the baby is getting to the period of viability and they're getting 16 weeks and they're getting higher, there is or something going on and you need to be eating and you're throwing up and all of that, you are not recommended to fast. You will pay the debt of the fasting and that's it, you're done. The person that is breastfeeding, and I'm answering the questions that's going to come after now in the beginning before I get into my topic. The breastfeeding woman, no, you don't have to fast. If the baby depends solely on the breast and that's all you're doing, you are not, you will pay the debt after. But if the baby can eat from something else and you feel like you don't want to fast and you know the baby will be full with the Similac and everything else, then you can fast and you don't have to worry about that, brothers and sisters. But it is a fact. The fasting that we're seeing, it was prescribed upon all nations before us. Do you know that? Ramadan didn't only come to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't think it was only revealed to Muhammad. It was revealed to Ibrahim, to Musa, to Isa, to all of the other prophets, to Nuh alayhi salam, Adam. But all of them has different fasting, different times, different energy of it. But the month, the Shahru Ramadan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is 1 month that's been rotating from the time of Adam until the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why the books that was revealed, the major books that was revealed, all of them were revealed in the month of Ramadan. If you were in the train, you already heard that. Ibrahim received the Suhuf in the first day of Ramadan. And Musa received the Torah after the 13th day of Ramadan. And then the Isa received after the 16th night of Ramadan, and Muhammad after the 24th night of Ramadan, Muhammad received the Quran. Remember that. This is how important the Ramadan is. Well, in this blessed month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes something that is associated with Ramadan. After he told us that Ramadan has been prescribed upon us, he left it there. And then he said, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Maybe you fear. Fear what? That's a question. Maybe you fear. Maybe you fear the starvation. Some of us are afraid of fast. You know what? We are not afraid of the Ramadan. If they say it's only Ramadan, it's the month Shahru Ramadan, you don't have to do anything extra. We don't have no problem with that. Yani, we don't. It's just like if we have the Dhul Qi'dah or we have the Rajab or the Sha'ban, that is a Sunnah fasting. We don't have to. But لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ might be you are afraid of what? You cannot stay without drinking and eating. So you're afraid. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Maybe you are afraid of not stopping the zina. You are afraid. So Allah said, maybe that will make you afraid of making zina. Maybe you'll be afraid of committing sin. Maybe you will be afraid of eating in front of people because you are not fasting. Born Muslim, raised as Muslim. But have you seen those Muslims that don't fast? They tell you, my name is Alaji Alpha Ibrahim Sanusi Sulaiman. The name is 16 numbers. But come Ramadan, you see them eating and you ask them, my brother, lakum dinukum waliyadin. In Ramadan, they're telling you lakum dinukum, Muslim. It's a Muslim. He tell you now lakum. It's this time now, it's lakum dinukum. He's not in this din. He's in the other din. This is Muslims. I'm not talking about the people that don't believe. These are Muslims, us. That's when we start asking about all what can make you not to fast. That's when you know something is wrong. When all your questions that you're asking, the things that will exempt you from fasting, that's all you're asking about. It's not what will make your Ramadan be better, brother. There's a problem. You're looking for an excuse. You're looking for one imam, one sheikh, one alpha, one baba that will come and say, my baba, you don't have to fast now. Allah will understand. Allah does not understand because it's rulings. It has its rulings. That's it. You think Allah thinks like the way we think? No. Allah has his rulings that he has established for the angels. He has rulings that he established for the jinns. He has rulings that he established for humankind, and he follows it. Khalas. Allah is not your father. It's not my father. It is our creator. Brother, look at the honor that you give to your supervisor at work. Look at the respect that you give to the president of a nation. Look at the respect that you give to the chief of a community. Look at the respect that you give to a chairman of an organization. Can you imagine that we look at Allah, we don't care about Allah, but we care about all these people that we gave position, that when they wake up in the morning, they go to the restroom. Yeah, Rob, your president, they wake up in the morning, they go to the restroom. Tell me one president that doesn't use the restroom. I will tell you the only person that used to live in this dunya that will go up to 40 days without using the bathroom, he claimed he was Allah. Do you know that person? The only person that used to live in this dunya that couldn't use the bathroom for up to almost 40 days, he would go up to 40 days without using the bathroom, no constipation, no problem, normal routine for him. He claimed he was Allah. You know who was that? Fir'aun. فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. He doesn't use the bathroom as often as all of us. Our leaders that we respect use the bathroom. Our people that we honor use the bathroom. But then we look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we follow their constitution they are writing for us. Their press release, we follow them to the T. We listen to their writings, we listen to what we have in our constitutions. But then when it comes to the constitution of Allah, the one that created you that you cannot see with your naked eye, you give if, but, and why. Well, he said, I have commanded you to fast. I have commanded you to fast. It is a fard. What you want to know, how can my Ramadan be better than last year? Ya Allah, last year I was not able to go to the masajid because of the coronavirus. This year, some of the masajids are open with some restrictions. Well, if the restrictions are there, are you going to look for the restriction that will prevent you from not going, or are you trying to make sure you follow the restrictions and then you can be in the masjid? That is your question to answer. The excuse is done. The Ramadan is coming, and it is a visitor that comes every year. And it will continue to come. A day will come that Ramadan will show up and you are not there. You're gone. Where did you go? You've returned to your God. You return to the one that created you, brothers and sisters. And that's why you should know that the Ramadan is ayyam ma'dudat. They are days that are numbers. The Ramadan. It is days that are numbers. It has a time frame. It's going to be imma 29 or 30 days of the month of the Shahru Ramadan. Imma 29 or 30 based on the calendar, based on the moon. Once it comes and it goes. Shall I tell you that Ramadan comes fast and leave fast? Shall I tell you that? You can remember what happened last Ramadan. You can remember vividly. That is the sign that the time of Qiyamah is getting closer, brothers and sisters. It is coming closer. يَتَقَارَبَ الزَّمَانِ. Muhammad said that. He said when the time is coming closer, the time will become shortened. The day will come by the time you know it's nightfall. The night will come by the time you know it's day. You remember the last thing you did before you went to bed. Imagine when you can remember what you did before you went to bed. You can remember what you did before you woke up in the morning. You can remember when you woke up what you did before you woke up. The time is so fast. It's moving fast. We will claim Ramadan is 2 days away or 3 days away. I will tell you that by the time you come, the 10 days of Ramadan is done. You're in the 20 days, and then in the 30 days, you are gone. Now, I was telling you, Allah associated something in the Quran with Ramadan. That's the only thing Allah associated with Ramadan. Listen to this. I don't know if you know that. The only thing that Allah associated with Ramadan in the Quran is the Quran itself. Do you know that? Allah associated Quran to Ramadan in the Quran. Nothing else. None of the other the rulings was not associated in the Quran with the Quran except for Ramadan. Does that make sense? I'm speaking psychology here now. Allah associated Ramadan with one thing, and He associated it in the Quran, and it's the Quran. Listen to the ayah. I'm giving you verses. Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى وفرقان. In the blessed month of Ramadan, that's when the Quran was revealed. Allah associated Ramadan with the Quran. The Quran is associated with Ramadan. And in the Quran is hudan. There's something in the Quran. What is it? It is a guidance. Wabayinat. It is a clear proof. It is a guidance and a clear proof in the Quran. And it is a distinguisher. The Quran distinguishes between what is good and what is bad. So the month of Ramadan, Allah Himself took upon Himself to establish that in the Ramadan, the first and most important thing that you want to work on in the blessed month of Ramadan is the Quran. It's not the samosa. It's not the ogisi soup. It's not the fufu. It is not the bitter leaf. It is not the akara. It is not the banana. It is not associated with Ramadan. Food is not associated with Ramadan. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the Ramadan for us to be separate ourselves from food. Rather, unfortunately, you know what we did? We associated ourselves, Ramadan, we associated Ramadan with food. That is the first mistake that we made. When we associated Ramadan with food, immediately Ramadan comes, the first thing the wife will ask the husband, where's the money? We didn't shop now. You waited till everyone went to the store. There's no meat now. What do you want me to do? No meat now. No meat. Halal meat is becoming now a senior food in the market. Senior food. Did you hear me? I call it senior food. Halal meat. After Ramadan, imagine you fasted Ramadan, the entire Ramadan, the day of Eid, you went to the restaurant. You didn't ask if it's a halal meat. But during Ramadan, you're looking for every store that they sell halal meat. You go to the store now, people are standing in line to buy halal meat. Everyone is asking halal meat. We associated the Ramadan with food. And but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us for this, de-associate ourselves from food. Our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what did he used to do when it comes to Ramadan? He eats what? What did he? Tamar, laban, milk, yogurt. Subhanallah, this is the healthy food. Even science is saying that those foods are healthier when you are fasting. Even when you're not healthy, when you're not fasting, it is a healthy food. But we fast for 15 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, 17 hours, depend on where you're living. And then the first thing that comes in your stomach is something that is not healthy. Allah said, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, fear for your health. He didn't say fear Allah, he said fear. He left it open. He left it for us to understand, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you can fear. One, fear for your health. The Ramadan will restore your health. Did you hear me? The Ramadan will restore your health. Only if you take the Ramadan to restore your health, it will restore your health. People will say, I will lose weight in Ramadan. Subhanallah, today the Muslim, when Ramadan comes, we gain weight. I promise you tomorrow when you're doing your Taraweeh or next tomorrow, whatever the day is going to be, when you do how do you say measure yourself? No, weigh yourself. Weigh yourself now. Write it down. First, if Taraweeh, I weigh 200 pounds, or if it's Africa, maybe in Nigeria, they say 140 kilo, because we use kilo in Africa. In America, we use the pounds, right? If you don't know how to do it, it's 2.2. Multiply it or divide it, whatever it is, by the number that you have in pounds, it'll give you the kilo. Write it down. And by day 15 of Ramadan, check, brother, you've gained 10 pounds. When you finish, when they say iftar, the first thing he said, bring me. I don't play with my, just give me my fufu and my goosey. I don't play. This after 15 hours, I need to bro. And then you have all the extra that is around. Ya Rab. We're supposed to de-associate. La'allakum tattaqun. You're supposed to look skinny after Ramadan, no? You're supposed to look six-pack on your stomach. You're supposed to have some cuts now. You're supposed to look neat and good. But then your stomach is protruding. In the month of Ramadan, it's becoming, it was 1 inch before Ramadan, and after Ramadan, it was 3.5. What happened? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. You were supposed to fear. Fear what? Overweight. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. You're supposed to fear. Fear what? Zina. But rather, unfortunately, that girl that you were looking for in the community in the Ebola state, I don't know if it's a state in Nigeria, I just called one. You were looking for one girl that you've been chasing for 11 months in the Arabic calendar. You didn't get him. You didn't get her. During the month of Ramadan, all of a sudden, she said, my brother, how you doing now? How's the fast? He said, my sister, I'm doing good. Well, I can make you something. I don't know, but when Islam says it's not halal now, he said, my sister, no worry, just make it, bring them. I go make dua. It go be okay now. Right there. La'allakum tattaqun. You should be afraid of the food. You started by the food. And she cooked and she brought it. The second day, she come again. She said, my sister is good. Mashallah. Allah bless you. By the time the next time she comes, is Salatul Asr, after Asr, with a short skirt. You say, my sister, you're not fasting. My brother, I started my menses now 3 days ago. I'm almost finishing. He said, well, let me finish the rest for you. Zina is committing right there and then. She said 3 days. You know, after 3 days, it's just little bit. He said, let me finish. Astaghfirullah. Sheikh, can I wash janaba? Janaba is only for the people that are married. There is no janaba for zina. Do you hear me? There's no janaba. Say, Sheikh, when people start asking how to wash janaba, only Ramadan. No. What have you been doing if you were someone that you're married, you have your wife? If you didn't know how to wash janaba all this year, so what have you been doing after you have your after our business? Huh. This is la'allakum tattaqun, so you may fear. Fear what? Now in the blessed month of Ramadan, you are afraid to accept haram. Someone comes to you with haram, you say, no, my brother, I'm fasting, I don't want haram money, I don't want haram money. Allah is telling you, Allah knows that you know that it was haram. In the month of Ramadan, la'allakum tattaqun, you become more conscious of it. The tattaqun here is consciousness. Allah didn't say God consciousness, it's consciousness. Consciousness of all the shara'id or the shurut al-Islamiyya. All the rulings of Islam, you are conscious of them in the month of Ramadan. Allah made it on purpose. Do you know that Allah turns the heart of everyone, almost in the dunya, towards the deen? Even the people that are not fasting, they respect the Ramadan. Do you know that? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may conscious of what is coming in your mouth, conscious of what is coming out of your mouth, conscious of what you is looking at, conscious of what you're putting on your body, conscious of how you do things, conscious of everything. Brothers and sisters, that is what is called Ramadan. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may be self-conscious. Allah didn't say fear me or conscious of me. No, this is not the ayah for that. Tattaqun is consciousness of what you're eating in the month of Ramadan. Now, eat what is healthy in the month of Ramadan. Because you fasted for 15 hours doesn't mean that you're going to eat all the unhealthy. For us that comes from the Arab nations, I've lived in the Arab nations, we have all the sweet. The iftar is all sugar. By the time the Ramadan finish, you're diagnosed with diabetes. Now you're poking your finger to check your insulin. And then the next Ramadan, you're asking, Sheikh, is it permissible to fast when you're diabetic? You were supposed to last Ramadan not to be diabetic, and now next Ramadan you became diabetic. Did you gain the purpose of the Ramadan? Did you gain it? Before Ramadan, you were not diabetic. Pre-Ramadan, you were not diabetic. After Ramadan, you are diabetic because of all the sweet. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Be self-conscious. Imam Al-Ghazali, and I said that in the IRK, and I promised that I'm going to say it today, and I'm going to say it now. Imam Al-Ghazali, rahimahullah, one of the great Imams. We know about Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Hanafi, Hanbali, but there are so many of them, if not hundreds of them, notable ones. But this is the point. Everyone can be a great Imam. Not everyone can be shining one. Not everyone will be on the top. And if your game is only one, you want to be in the top, and you're not doing it for Allah, Allah does not raise you. These Imams are there. They are so educated, so much as you will say towards Imam Malik, same as Imam Shafi. They have the knowledge. They are great Imams. We don't know much about them. We know much about Malik, Hanafi, Hanbali, and Shafi because they are the four notable that came just right after the Sahabas. But Imams came after them that are also good Imams. One of them was Ghazali, Imam Al-Ghazali. And I hope this is not the first time you heard that name. He said, Ramadan is divided into 3 levels. IRK, I only mentioned one. Today I'm going to give you the rest. He said, Ramadan is divided into 3 levels. The level of fasting is 3. 1, write it down. That is where we are focused on more, all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the Ramadan, He gave it 3 levels. Imam Ghazali is using now the knowledge that Allah has bestowed upon him. He said, 1, abstaining from food, drinks, and any sexual activity in the month of Ramadan. That is 1 level of the Ramadan. That is where all of us are stuck. We're stuck on, check, can I come close to my wife during Ramadan? Yes, you can. Can you consummate during Ramadan? No. During the time of fasting? No. But after iftar? Yes, my brother, you can. If you want, from after Isha till Fajr, kill yourself. But during the fasting time, you can't. But can you come close to her? Yes, you can come close to her. Yes, you can talk to her. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to hug Aisha, used to kiss Aisha. In the month of Ramadan, he would do everything except consummation of the relationship. Yes. But then the hadith said Muhammad was able to control himself more than anyone in the dunya. Me and you, if you get one level, another level, if you see you jump one level, the 3rd level, you have to reach Jerusalem. So don't go. If you know your mind is too weak, don't start. Don't start. If your mind is weak, don't start. Don't say, Muhammadu Rasulullah kissed his wife, and why wouldn't I can kiss my wife and peck. You are not Muhammadu Rasulullah. You will not be Muhammadu Rasulullah. In the hadith, he said, Aisha was the one that reported the hadith. Aisha herself, she said, Muhammad used to do everything with me except the actual act. The actual act, that was the only thing that, but then she said, he was able to control himself than anyone else. Brother, you cannot control yourself. You know that you cannot control yourself. Please stay away from it. I'm getting a suggestion here that we should have go live on Facebook because of Yani. Except if I have to do it on my own page and go live on my own page, we probably can do that so people can benefit from it because I'm going out in details of it. I don't know what the suggestion is.
Go ahead. Bismillah.
Huh.
Bismillah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, give me 1 second. I hope I don't lost my time because I don't write. Subhanallah. I'm sure. Now, so as I was saying, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Now, Imam Al-Ghazali, rahimahullah, he said Ramadan, and I'm going back. Ramadan, Subhanallah, Ramadan is divided into 3 levels. The first level of Ramadan, Imam Al-Ghazali said, is to abstain from drinking, from eating, having any sexual activity during the time of fasting. Listen to my statement. During the time of fasting, that is one level. It is the first level. Abstaining from food, abstaining from drinking, abstaining from any sexual activity during the time of fasting. Now, some people, companions came and asked Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. And she said in a narration and a hadith, mutafaqun sahih, Bukhari, it's in Bukhari, and also you can find that in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad. She said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, for you that says during the month of Ramadan, you cannot talk to your wife, you cannot touch your wife, you cannot come close to your wife, you cannot hug them, you cannot peck them, you cannot kiss them, you cannot do nothing with them. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, you can do everything with your wife. Muhammad used to do everything except the actual act of consummation. That's the verb. But because, and then she ended up the hadith by saying that he can control himself. Now, okay, you know your level. You know how far you can reach. You are not Muhammad Rasulullah. So don't go there and start something out there. By the time they pinch you somewhere, subhanallah, you forget that you are fasting. You say, subhanallah, you are shaitan. After you finish your action, you say you are shaitan. You are blaming the woman. Stay. Just smile to them, hug them, and say, let's read Quran. But then people will ask after Ramadan, after iftar, after I break my fast, can I? There are people that are saying, no, don't go close to your, after you pray your Maghrib, after Isha, you finish what you're doing. Brother, you can do whatever you want to do until Fajr time. If that's what you want to do as your tahajjud, but is that what Ramadan is about? No. Does that make sense? Now, Imam Al-Ghazali, that's number 1. But today, me and you, they say, Imam Al-Ghazali is saying, and Allah is telling us, we have prescribed the Ramadan for you. So, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. I'm holding to one word. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That's all I'm holding. One word. So you may be conscious of what? Be conscious of your eating and drinking habits. Are we conscious of it today? Today, instead of abstaining, Imam Ghazali said we should abstain from drinking and eating. And that's what Allah said. And that's what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to the hadith of the fasting, how we supposed to fast. But today we eat more than before Ramadan. Our fridge and freezers are full of meat and food in the month of Ramadan. And sometimes I always tell my wife, I wish Ramadan will continue for the rest, because then I always have something new to eat. I don't have to warm nothing. It's been made, prepared, hot. We eat every day. So I was telling, for the people that are just joining us on Facebook, subhanallah, you can share and like what we're doing in the page. But subhanallah, Rabbiyal A'la, today the halal stores, today, starting from today, go to the halal store is line. Now those are the halal people. They're supposed to be the halal people. the meat, they will start adding the price a little bit. If you went the day before, 3 days ago, it was probably $3.49. Today you go, it's $5.70. They have added. These are the halal people. Halal. Now we are looking, la'allakum tattakun, say you may be conscious of what you're gonna eat, and that is the will of Allah, that now everyone is conscious of, I don't want to eat haram. So if you are worried of not eating haram in the month of Ramadan, why do you want to eat haram after Ramadan? La'allakum tattakun, say you may be conscious. Conscious of what? What is coming from your mouth? What is coming from your mouth in the month of Ramadan? You don't want to be cussing and swearing at anyone. You don't want to be insulting anyone. You conscious of it. Yeah. You don't want to sing music in the month of Ramadan. You don't want to be doing something, saying something that is bad or haram words. La'allakum tattakun. That is the purpose of Ramadan. So you may be conscious of what you're saying. As we are conscious of what we are eating now, we don't want to eat haram no more. We are looking for halal meat until the day of Eid. The food that we eat on the day of Eid, the meat was not halal meat. You just say, just get me one from Costco. They have good cope going on. That's Dutch. They have cheaper, they have cotton, they have less price. Just get me from Costco. We are making big food. But the whole 30 days we are eating halal meat, the day of Eid, you went to Costco. Ya Rab, this is us, mankind. Immediately they release shaitan. They release us with shaitan combined. It's like they release us too. La'allakum tattakun, say you may be conscious. You may be conscious of what? You're conscious of what is coming in and what is going out. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Imam al-Ghazali said, the levels of Ramadan is 3. And I'm saying it's over and over so you can write it down. 1, abstain from food and drinking. And then abstain from sexual activity in the period of fasting between Fajr to Maghrib. That's number 1. Number 2, the second level of Ramadan is to protect and guard what? Protect and guard what? Ramadan comes, la'allakum tattakun, say you may be fear of what? What you're looking at. Brother, they tell you when you go, you see haram, don't look one time and turn your face, don't look again. Your brother say, well, Sheikh say, look one time. Okay, let me look properly. Open all your eyes and you look, you don't even blink. You say, hey, now it's haram, now I'm turning my eyes. Hey, ya Rab. That's us. La'allakum tattakun, Imam al-Ghazali, you be made conscious of what? You're protecting. Now you're not only abstaining, now you're also protecting what? You are protecting your eyesight. You are protecting your hearing. You are protecting your tongue, what you're saying from your tongue. Al-bala'u mu'akkalun bil-mantiq. The al-bala comes from what is coming from the mouth. In the month of Ramadan, they want you to protect your eyes from zina, protect your eyes from looking what is not supposed to be looked at. In Ramadan, they want you to protect your ears. They don't want you to hear something that's haram and something that's out of the way. That's why they tell you stay away from music. Does that mean that after Ramadan to listen to music is okay? It is not okay, but we are telling you, la'allakum tattakun, in this month, it is a fard for you to stay away from those things. It is compulsory. That's why Siyam is prescribed to train you. So when you go to Allah, you say, Ya Allah, it was hard for me to stop listening to music. Allah asks you, Ya Aisha, I'm just calling a name. Ya Fatima, Ya Maryam, Ya Zainab, Ya Sulaiman, Ya Ibrahim. Did you fast the month of Ramadan? Yes, Ya Allah, I fasted every Ramadan. I remember I fasted all of it. Was you able not to stay from eating and drinking? Yes, I didn't eat for 15 hours, 16 hours. Was you able to look at anything that was not haram during the fasting? You say, no, I was not. Ya Allah, I didn't look at anything haram. I was not even watching TV. I didn't watch anything haram. I did not do anything haram. Say, but why did you do it after Ramadan? Why? So if you worship Ramadan, Ramadan is gone. But if you worship Allah, فَهُوَ حَيٌّ دَائِمٌ قَائِمٌ قَاهِرٌ قَادِلٌ عَادِلٌ لَا يَنَامُ وَلَا يَمُوتُ أَبَدًا ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. If it's Allah you're worshiping, this is the attributes of Allah. Find out what that means. So number 2, you protect and guard your eyesight during the blessed month. Why? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may be conscious. Now you are conscious of your eyesight. Check. Is it okay for me to watch movie in the month of Ramadan? That means you're conscious of your eyesight now. You're asking if you're supposed to. Outside Ramadan, you will not ask the Sheikh, should I watch movie? Say, but put the movie, let me watch. What you do? I can watch now. Then the Sheikh will tell you, well, depend what kind of movie you're watching. Does it have some kind of obscene scenes? Stay away from it. Or you are watching and they start kissing on the movie, you forward it quick. But after Ramadan, you don't forward or you leave it. In fact, you replay, you double play, and you multiply the same way. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The Ramadan is for you to be conscious. Conscious of what? Your health. Conscious of your health. That's one thing Allah wants you to do. Conscious of your health. Conscious of what you're eating. Conscious of what is coming out of your mouth in the blessed month of Ramadan. Conscious of what you're hearing, what you hear. Conscious of what you're going to be seeing and looking at in the blessed month of Ramadan. That is why Allah said, Kutiba alaykumus siyam. That's why I prescribe the fasting upon you. I'm giving you one ayah. One. That's number 2. Conscious of your hands. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Imam al-Ghazali said the second level, after you abstain from food and drink and sexual activity, the second thing that you want to be is to protect and guard your eyes, protect and guard your earring, protect and guard your hands and your feet. Guard your hands. You don't want to touch something that is haram. They tell you in the month of Ramadan, alcohol is haram. And even no one tells you, you tell them, I'm not buying alcohol until after Ramadan. Did someone stop you? No, you stopped yourself. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Self-consciousness. You know it was haram. You knew that. But you couldn't stop until Ramadan. That is why Ramadan is prescribed. So you can be conscious of. So you know what is wrong and from what is right. That is why it is prescribed. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may be. Don't touch something that is haram. The woman is not your wife. Why are you touching her in the month of Ramadan? But most of us will not. We will stop. We will stay away from it. Say, Sheikh, I'm not spoiling my Ramadan. This Ramadan, I'm fasting. Your hands don't want to touch anything. Even your own cousins, you're afraid to even hug them. Your own cousins, your own sisters, your own nephews, you're afraid. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you are conscious. You may be conscious. One ayah, one word. Your feet. Before Ramadan, Sha'ban, Rajab, Dhul Qaydah, and Dhul Hijjah, and all of the other ones, Muharram, you take your legs and you walk to where? To the gamble store. You walk yourself to the lottery stations. You go to the lotto place now. The lotto place. Say, Sheikh, me, I want for win one number mega pool. Which one do they do in Nigeria? Which one do they do in Nigeria? Which kind of lottery do they do? What's the name? Ajabuke. What's the name of the lottery they do in Nigeria? If you remember.
Baba Jebu.
Baba Jebu. You say, me, I want to do Baba Jebu once for Baba Jebu. If you see I win one time, no more. I go Umrah, I go Hajj, and then that's it, I'm done. Baba Jebu, you are walking to the store, the corner store to go do your Baba Jebu. Salon, we call a lotto. Muslims, we play lotto. Muslims, we are the one playing it. In the month of Ramadan, they are closed. Why? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you are self-conscious. No, I'm not playing lotto. I'll wait after Ramadan. So why didn't you want to win in Ramadan? Why? Ya Rab, Ya Rab, yassir lana. Ya Rab, Ya Rab, انصرنا. Ya Rab, aftah lana. Yassir lana umurana, Ya Rab. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The legs that you used to go, what? You're taking those legs and you're telling your wife, I'm staying late in the office today, but after office, you know where you're going to? Strip club. Strip club. You tell your wife today, I have to stay late. We have a meeting. Before Ramadan, that's what you tell your wife. You're supposed to off at 5. You tell them, no, today we have a meeting. I'll start at 6:30. And my boss is telling me I have to stay. I have a presentation to do. And it will take me 2-3 hours. You finish and you go first to your strip club. You are using your legs. If it's not your legs, you're not only using your legs, you are using your 4 legs, the car. You're using your car to add to your 2. It's 6. You are going. In the Ramadan, do you go there? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. You're self-conscious. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may be conscious. You don't do it. So Imam al-Ghazali is saying, I'm using one Imam at this moment. He's saying that in the month of Ramadan, 3 levels. Level number 1, you stay away from food, drink, sexual activities during the period of fasting. That doesn't mean that you don't eat and drink. Absolutely not. You do after you break your iftar. But then the problem lies, what do you eat at your iftar? What do you eat after your iftar? Subhanallah, you fasted for 15 hours, 16 hours, and now Imam, you're telling you that you have to break your fast. You have Muslim brothers. The first thing that comes in the mouth is the cigarette. They're bending their mouth in one way of their cheek. They're sending it. Ya Allah, is that healthy for you? Ramadan should make you become healthier. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Self-conscious of your health. You defy that moment. You defied it. And some of us, then the time to beat the iftar, you have all these different food, all is fried. All the food in front of you is fried. Everything is fried. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Now, yes, you can eat it. Is it healthy? Ramadan is coming to make you healthier. That's number one. 2, protect and guard all those parts that I mentioned. Protect and guard them from anything that is sinful act. That is what Imam Ghazali is saying. In the month of Ramadan, what Ramadan is teaching you, the second level of Ramadan, is to teach you to abstain from sin. Brother, listen. We are all sinners, including me. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made a narration for it. You know the hadith. كل ابن آدم خطاء وخير خطائين التوابون أو توابين. That each and every slave of Adam, the son of Adam is a sinner. The best amongst you is the one that commits a sin and repent. That's why Allah gives us Ramadan, so we can come back and re-evaluate ourselves. You've been unhealthy for 11 months. Allah wants you to be healthier in 1 month. Give your body a break. Give the body a break. Give your eyes a break. Give your ears a break. Give your legs a break. Give your private parts break. Why? Some of you make zina every day. By the time you get married, you don't have anything left in your system. So now your wife cannot be pregnant, but then you are blaming the woman. And this woman is a man, no. Brother, you are the wife. You are the wife, but you are blaming the woman, especially us Africans. We are the one. Anytime a woman doesn't give birth, they blame the woman. But brother, you've wasted every energy that you have in you. Everything has gone. It's only left. It's just a liquid that's coming out. Nothing is in there no more. And then now you're blaming the woman. Mama, me, I don't know where I get this one from. This, Mama, you forced me to take this one. This is a barrel. This is a stick. La ilaha illallah. We're talking about women like that. Yani, in the month of Ramadan, you take a break, so your body can make some more extra millions of those cells that you needed, so it can create you more. Stop blaming the women. Go check yourself out first. Check yourself before you start blaming. These days, some ulama are recommending some men, when you want to marry them, go first and go have the SPM counts first. Make sure they have the count. So before you marry and come, and then 3 weeks after you say divorce. Because why? The man has given it out every day. Some people have to do 3 salawats of zina. 3. Allah said pray 5 times. They are 3 extra zina. They will do one after Fajr. They will look for one, the one that slept last night. And then after Asr, they have one. And towards Maghrib, close to Maghrib, when the sun is just setting, they have another one. 3 zina every day, exchanging. In the Ramadan, la'allakum tattaqun. The brother say, no, I'm not. Brother, no. Me, I like women, no, but in Ramadan, I don't do that thing. That thing, I stay away. I stay away. My brother, I stay away from it. La'allakum tattaqun. You are self-conscious at this point. That is the essence of Ramadan. Self-conscious of everything. What you look at, what you listen to, what comes into your mouth, what you eat, what you say. And now, where you go and what you touch, that is the purpose of Ramadan, self-consciousness. This is for you, it's not for Allah. It's for your own body. Allah, the one that created us, knows how long we can last for. He knows what spoils what he created. And he knows what makes it better. And number 3, Imam Ghazali, write it down. Number 3 said, the third level of Ramadan, which is the most important one. The most important one. To take your heart out away from the world. The heart. Now you are able to abstain from food and drink. Most of us can do that easily, no problem. No problem. And some people, when they want to diet, you know, the people that are doing keto diet, if that's how they call it, or kosher diet, I don't know, I'm just calling names. They stay hours and they don't eat. And when they eat specific types of food. The only thing they are doing, they are drinking. Yeah. So me and you can do that for 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. We are doing that. In the month of Ramadan, it's a way of diet for you. And then you are getting blessing out of it. The keto diet has no blessing on it because it's not mandated in Islam. It's a blessing for your body. But it's not like Allah is going to reward you for doing keto diet. But the diet of Ramadan, where you are fasting in the blessed month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you lose weight, Allah blesses you in the month of Ramadan. And I'm coming to those ahadith. I'm saying to live health is good, to diet is good. And the purpose of Ramadan, one, is for you to maintain yourself into form and shape. So number 3, Imam Ghazali said, when the heart abstains from the worldly preoccupation, that is the third essence of Ramadan. 1, stay away from food and drink. 2, guard and protect your parts, your hands, your legs, your feet, every part of you. And then 3, your heart. You divorce your mind from the dunya. Even though you go to work, when it's time for prayer, you pray in the month of Ramadan. Every one of us will look for somewhere to pray at our work. But then just after Ramadan, it becomes difficult for us to pray at work. Why? Why? In Ramadan, you are able to pray. Everyone prays in Ramadan. You find a way to pray. Except few of us maybe might not. But majority of us are able. But then immediately after Ramadan, you say, my brother, I cannot pray at work. Why? You didn't want to make that time. Because Ramadan, you know, if you keep your salat when you come home, if you keep your salat when you come home, to stand and play Salatul Zuhr and Salatul Asr, that is the most tiresome thing that you will ever do in your life in the month of Ramadan. To stand and pray double prayers after coming from work. It is hard. Brother, I'm telling you, I know. It is hard. That 8 rakah, you will feel like you are praying Taraweeh. Sometimes by the time you finish the first 4 rakah of the Zuhur, you cannot even remember if it was Zuhr or Asr. Sometimes that's where you nod in the Salat, you're nodding. Let me tell you a joke. Let me tell you a joke. A brother, this is something the brother himself told me, yeah? He went to work. He came from work and he was so tired and he wanted to sleep. And the wife came and said, I want to do iftar. I want to cook for iftar. But you know how women, every time they want to cook, something must missing. Every time they want to cook, something must missing. One thing has to be missing. There is never they will have to cook, everything is there. Something has to be missing. Now in the month of Ramadan, they want to piss you off because they feel like you are acting like you are the only one fasting in the month of Ramadan. They are in the kitchen from after Asr till Maghrib. And then you go to work, you come, you eat, you lay down, you sleep, and then time for iftar, you iftar, and then you go pray and you go lay down. And they are cooking and washing the dish. So what they will do, they will tell you, immediately you left the house, when you are coming on your way, Baba Nyaji, Baba Inji, or Baba Madina Inji, whatever the name is, yeah, I am not saying it correctly, Abdul Hadith, Allah Jamara, Subhanallah, and then they'll say, when you are coming, can you please step by Mama store and just get me small, just small, you know, the ogiri. Don't finish the ogiri. Right? You call for something, they're looking for something small. They're just thinking that it's not enough. By the time you come, they finish cooking. You say, you say, I didn't wait, you are taking too long. They finish, they just make you go to the store. This brother, the day before he went to the store, he got some stuff the woman asked. The following day, he came from work and he was about, after he finished praying Asr, he doubled the Zohar and Asr. He was tired, about to lay down. The wife came and said, me, I want to cook, but today, I don't think we want to eat the same food. Can you get us some fish? The brother looked at the wife. He said, you know what? If you can put me on your back, in Creole, they say, Popo. If you can carry me on your back, take me to the store. They will go buy it together and come back. He said, carry me to the store. I will not do that. I will not do. So, subhanallah, this is the point I'm making here is we are, that's on a lighter note though. And this is something that really happened. The brother was saying, put me on your back. In Sierra Leone, say, Popo me. In Nigeria, you say, carry me on your back now. Carry me and let's go to the store. I'm tired. And he got to the point that he said, if you are cooking for me, don't cook anymore. Stop. He was so tired. This is what Ramadan does to the body. Ramadan makes you tired. Brother, Ramadan makes you tired. Sisters, it makes you tired. But subhanallah, Allah gives us the energy to still pray, even though you're tired. In the month of Ramadan, even though the woman is tired, she goes to work and still comes, she'll cook 2 different sauce and different things for you. She's tired, she can do it. Ramadan, that is the blessing of Ramadan. Allah gives that energy, you can do it. Yes. So now, when the heart abstains from the pre-engagement of the dunya, brother, you're succeeding. And that is the intention of the Ramadan, la'allakum tattaqun, so you can be conscious of your heart, your qalb, your nafs. You are conscious of your heart at this time. Your heart is connected to God than anything else. True of us. When in the month of Ramadan, all of us. Our hearts, even though we are working, even though you go for your job, 8 hours, 12-hour shift, regardless of what kind of shift. Come Ramadan, even though you are working, but your heart is hanged to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. That is the purpose of Ramadan, so you may be conscious. Now, your heart should be focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, let's go in the reverse of Imam al-Ghazali. Let's go in the reverse. If Ramadan comes to you, I'm going in the reverse now. If Ramadan comes to you, your heart, I'm going from the third one. If your heart is not connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if Ramadan comes to visit you, and it is coming every year, it will come, and day will come, Ramadan will come, you are not here. So that means Ramadan owns more say in this dunya than you do. Because Ramadan will outlast you. Do you hear me? Ramadan will outlast you. Ramadan will outlast you. When Ramadan comes, it goes. You are in this dunya. A year will come, Ramadan will come, and Ramadan will go, you are not in this dunya. So that means Ramadan earned this dunya, you don't. Ramadan has a say in this dunya, you don't have no say. Ramadan has a share in this dunya, you don't. So Ramadan is more important to Allah than you yourself, because you're going to believe in Ramadan is going to come. Ramadan will come until the last moment of the life of this dunya. Until to the moment of Qiyamah, Ramadan will be here. Ramadan will come and it will go. It will come and visit you. You are not the one visiting Ramadan. You are not doing Ramadan favor. Unfortunately, Ramadan is the one doing you a favor. So you can what? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Self-conscious. So you may be self-conscious. I'm only taking one ayah, one narration of one imam. I haven't got to nothing yet. Ya Rab, we're supposed to close at 2:30. Ya Rab, yes, lana wa murana. It's Ramadan. Ya Rab. Now, take the reverse of Imam al-Ghazali. When your heart is not connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this blessed month of Ramadan, if Ramadan comes and your heart is not connected to Allah, you know what happened? The second level of the Ramadan would be gone. It will go through the window. That guard and protection, you don't care. You will drink, you will smoke, you will make zina, you will eat haram, you will not fast, you're not going to guard none of your parts. Did you see that? Because why? Your heart is not connected to Allah. When your heart is connected, you will guard everything. When your heart is not connected to Allah, it's only connected to the dunya, then you cannot guard your salat. You cannot guard your fasting. You cannot guard your eyesight, your hearing, your hands, and your legs. So you lost the second level. And once you lost the second level, you know what happened? The first level is running away from you. Then you start eating openly. You're not even ashamed to eat. You're looking for women to make zina in Ramadan. That is how it goes. See how connected they are? The beginning is abstaining from food and drink and sexual activity during the period of fasting. The second part is to gird every part of you, right? And then the third part is to preoccupy yourself to Allah from the dunya. But then in the reverse, when your heart is not connected, it is connected only to the dunya, then you are not able to guard yourself. You are not able to guard your eyes. You are not able to guard your hands. You are not able to guard your legs. And then the first one will happen. It will become the third one. You are open and you are free to eat. And these are the Muslims that you see. I'm not talking about non-Muslims. I'm talking about Muslims. These are the Muslims that you will see openly in the street. They're fasting. And sometimes they have a hijab. Even though you're on your cycle, doesn't mean that you have to come openly in public and eat. Sahabas used to hide. The wives of Sahabas used to hide so people don't know they were not even fasting. Today, you eat. Oh, what am I hiding? Allah is seeing me. Sister, why? So these are the three things of Imam Ghazali. You see how I went through it? Beginning, end, middle, and the end, and then go back in the other way. So the ultimate purpose of Ramadan is for you to connect to Allah. That is the ultimate goal. It's not the starvation of not eating and drinking. That is not the main goal of Ramadan. The main goal is not because you're not eating and drinking, which is what me and you are making as the main important thing in Ramadan. The abstain from food and drink. This is the most we are concerned about. Everything else is not concerned to us. We have no concern about it. But if that's what's your main thing, you lost the purpose of Ramadan, and then you are not amongst the ones that Allah said, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ أَوْ تَتَّقُونَ. You are not. Brothers, this is one side of the talk, one side. Now, I started, for people that are coming on Facebook, that the only in the month of Ramadan, Allah associated the month of Ramadan with one thing. I repeat. When Allah prescribed Ramadan, the next thing that he did, he associated it with one thing. In all the pillars of Islam, Ramadan is the one that is associated with one thing. You know what? Ramadan. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. In this month, Allah associated Quran with Ramadan in the Quran. Do you hear me? Allah associated Quran in Ramadan in the Quran. And the Quran was revealed in Ramadan. This is the only month that Allah, the only pillar of Islam that is associated with Quran in the Quran itself. So in this month of Ramadan, the first and most important thing you want to challenge yourself is to improve on your recitation of Quran. Not just listening on YouTube, not just listening on other sheikhs reciting. You yourself trying to improve your small surahs that you know, the 10 surahs that you know, the 5 surahs that you know, the 3 surahs that you know, the minimum 1 surah of Al-Fatiha that all of us knows. Because why? If you don't know Fatiha, you cannot pray, my brother. Don't come and say, Sheikh, well, if I don't know how to read Fatiha, can I read it in Igbo? Can I read it? No, you are not reading it in Igbo. You are reading it in Arabic. Fatiha, that one. You read it in Arabic in Salat. You cannot say anyone, you cannot read it in English in the name of Allah. No, we are not playing that game. Stop playing. We're not doing that. You are doing it in Arabic. I know you know Fatiha. If that's all you know in this month of Ramadan, improve in your Fatiha. How many of us that can read Fatiha correctly? I used to say, I will always tell people, when I go in the masjid, when someone is praying, the first thing that connects me with that person that is reciting is their Fatiha. When their Fatiha is messed up, that's it. You disconnected me right there and then. I only pray that Allah give me the khushu in the salah. If someone should have to correct you in Fatiha, most of us, they will correct us from the Bismillah to the Wala Dalin. Now take this Ramadan and say, you know what? If I don't learn nothing, Fatiha this Ramadan, I will read it the correct and perfect way, better than all of the sheikhs in the world. Challenge yourself, because Quran was revealed in this month. I don't have much time to enter into the benefits of the Quran in this month, but I will touch a little bit as I'm going. Brothers and sisters. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give Quran in the blessed month of Ramadan for us as a gift. In this month is the Quran. It's also called, the Ramadan is called the Shahrul Quran. Did you hear me? It's not only Ramadan, it is also called Shahrul Quran. Write it down. Ramadan is also called Shahrul Quran, the month of Quran. Make time to read Quran. The ulamas that we are talking about, the imams that we are talking about, Shafi, Hanbali, Hanafi, and Imam Malik, in the month of Ramadan, they stop teaching any of their hadith and any of their fiqh. Everything they are teaching, they stop, and the only thing they are reciting is Quran. Imam Malik has the hadith book called Al-Muwatta that he wrote, that he's teaching. Al-Muwatta has most of all of the authentic hadith is there, the best of best hadith. He will stop, he will close the Al-Muwatta. The only thing he's teaching at that time is Quran and reciting Quran. Today we have imams that don't even read Quran. Imams that don't read Quran. Imams. Ya Rab. Imams that don't read Quran. If the imam don't read Quran, what is happening now? They go to Taraweeh, they are reading, they are making mistakes in the Salat. Subhanallah, I went to a masjid that the imam is holding the Quran. Juzu Amma making mistake. The Quran is in front of him, he's still making mistake. Ya Rab, and it's the imam. If the imam that is holding the Quran in Taraweeh or Tahajjud and is making mistake in Juzu Amma, that ask me, what is the people behind you going to do? We are not even making time to do muraja, to review the Quran. We don't. In this month is the month of Quran, Shahrul Quran. Now, so much to talk about it, I'll leave it there. You want to know better? Follow me in the month of Ramadan. You will hear more about Quran. Now, Abi As-Sayyid Al-Khudri, a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Man sama Ramadana وعرف وجوده ونحفظ مما كان ينبغي له أن يتحفظ فيه كفار ما قبله. Hadith Musnad Imam Ahmad and Al-Hasan al-Hadith. Man sama Ramadan, whoever fasted the month of Ramadan, وعرف وجوده, and he made sure he acknowledged its limits. Ramadan has limits. You follow those limits. You stayed within the limits of Ramadan. وَتَحَفَّظَ مِمَّا كَانَ يَنْبَغِي لَهُ, and then you guard and shield what you're supposed to guard and shield. كَفَّرَ مَا قَبْلَهُ, Allah will forgive you the sins that you've committed in the past. The past year and the sins that you've committed will be forgiven. Musnad Imam Ahmad. Hasan al-Hadith. If you guard, you remember we talk about guarding, right? You remember we talk about the second level when Imam al-Ghazali said the second level of Ramadan is to guard your salat, guard your private parts, guard your hands, your eyes. And this hadith is identifying what he said. Ramadan has limits. What are the limits? We all know those limits. We've listened about Ramadan. Ramadan has limits. Whoever that acknowledges that limit and then guard and shield what he's supposed to guard and shield, you guard your private parts. You guard what you're saying. You guard what you're eating. You guard where you're going, what you're looking at. كَفَّرَ مَا قَبْلَهُ. Allah will forgive you what you've committed in the past. That's a hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Rab. Brothers and sisters, Ya Rab, listen to this. Now, one of the things that will spoil your Ramadan instantaneously, did you hear me? Instantaneously, immediately, it spoils your Ramadan here and there and then. Listen to the hadith. Abi Hurairah, Sahih Bukhari, you find it in the book of Imam al-Bukhari. He said, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man lam yada'a qawla zur wa amala bihi falaysa lillahi hajatun fi an yada'a ta'amuhu wa sharabuhu. I said this hadith last night, I'll repeat. Muhammad said, whosoever that the Ramadan did not stop them from qawl zur, backbiting, slandering, spoil talks, evil talks, cuss words. You know, today, Muslims today, we throw the B word like there's no tomorrow. We throw the F word like there's no tomorrow. We just say, we talk like we're eating. When the words are coming out, it's like when you are drinking water. It just flows like that. You feel like it is okay. It's just talking. It's just talk. We just release the B, the N, the M. All it's just coming. Flap, flap, flap. And the worst thing today is even in Africa that they didn't come to America yet too. They talk more than us. They talk better than us. America. You know me. What that. You know that. Remember that. La ilaha. This is Africa. They are not in America yet. That's why Allah will say, well, stay here for some time. Because if I bring you to America now, the people in America will run away because they cannot speak like you. Fake life. Fake life. Fake life. The America will not go to Africa and try to speak the way we speak. They will not. They will speak their English the way they want to speak their English, but will copy. If the Ramadan, if your fasting does not stop you from qawl zur, from spoil talks, from backbiting, from enmity, from all kinds of spoiling between people, gossiping people, doing three-way lines. Muslim, you call the next person. Aja Abiola, I'm gonna call you, but hold on, don't say anything. No, let me call Aja Buki. Just listen, don't say nothing. And Aja Buki in the phone. And Aja Abiola, what did he say about Aja Mariama? And blah, 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 blah. Aja Abiola Buki is listening. Three-way line, Ya Rab, and you are fasting. If that did not stop you from doing that in the blessed month, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ فِي أَنْ يَدَعَ طَعَمُهُ وَشَرَابُهُ. There is no reason for you to stop eating and drinking. Just eat and drink. You are wasting your time fasting. If you know you cannot stop, la qawl zur, don't fast. It spoils your fast instantaneously. Hadith is Sahih Bukhari. Sahih Bukhari. So be careful. Warn yourself. Stop and be careful. Now, brothers and sisters, I have so much to say. Now, in the blessed month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have so much good for us. In this month, it is also called the month of Tasbih. Ash-Shahru Tasbih. So if I come to you and say, I am in the month of Tasbih, don't ask what is month of Tasbih. It's month of Ramadan. If I say I am in the month of Quran, don't ask me which month of Quran, which is the month of Quran. It is the month of Quran, is Ramadan. And it's also called the month of Tasbih. Some people say, but why is he saying that? Is he in the hadith? Yes, come here. Follow me. And Zuhri, a Sahaba called Zuhri, companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith is Hasan. And you find it in the Musnad of Albani. It's authentic in Albani, Imam Albani. He said, and Musnad Imam Ahmad also. He said, Qala, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Tasbihatun fi Ramadan. I'm telling you now what is good in Ramadan, the benefits of the Ramadan, what you will do that will benefit you. Start writing them down. Tasbihatun fi Ramadan. أفضل من ألف تسبيحات في غيره. Tasbih in the blessed month of Ramadan is 1,000 times better than a tasbih outside Ramadan. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. 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 This is the tasbih. It is 1,000 times better than a tasbih outside Ramadan. In this month, Allah multiplied it for you, brother. This is a blessing of Ramadan. We have the blessing of the Quran in our midst in the blessed month of Ramadan. Reciting the Quran, one ayah is one word, one letter. Alif is 10 blessings, 10. So imagine you say Bismillah. Count all those letters. Now, another blessing of the Ramadan. The reward of you fasting in the month of Ramadan. Muhammad said, Abi Hurairah said, Man qamahu. Did you hear me? Man qamahu imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbih. Anyone that stands in Ramadan, they didn't say man sama, he said man qama. Man qamahu. Whosoever that stands in salah in the blessed month of Ramadan with iman, with faith, you connect yourself to Allah, not the worldly life, and you are sincere to it, غُفِرَ لَهُ. Allah will forgive you مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. All your previous sins will be wiped out. Your slate will be wiped out. The zina will go. The alcohol will go. The stealing is gonna go. The bad things, the kaba'ir, the big sins, except the smaller sins are all gonna be wiped off for you. Completely wiped, clean slate. If you stand in salat, how many of us will stand in salat in Ramadan? You complain, Imam, make it short now. Look for the short surah. Qaf, Allahu Akbar. Alif, Lam, Ra, Allahu Akbar. That's what we are praying. We are looking for those masjid that they call it express masjid. I'm attire-based masjid. We used to have them before when I'm back home 20 years back. Standing in salah in Ramadan. Standing in salah in Ramadan. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned in a narration about standing in salah in Ramadan. Most of you think that Ramadan is only the food and the drink. When you abstain, you are good. They will tell you salat is sunnah, don't worry. People will tell you, even the imams, some imams will tell you Taraweeh is sunnah. They will come, they pray Isha, they pray 2 rakah, or if they are the one praying, they will pray everything. If they are not the one praying, they pray Isha, they walk out, they go. Listen to the hadith of Muhammad, Abi Dharrin. He said, Abi Dharrin, a companion of Rasul. He said, Innahu man qama ma'al iman يعني في رمضان حتى ينصرف أو حتى ينصرف كتب له قيام الليلة. Anyone that prays with the Imam in the blessed month of Ramadan, Taraweeh from the beginning to end, you pray with the Imam, tahajjud, فَكَأَنَّمَا is like Allah will write for you, كُتِبَ لَهُ قِيَامُ اللَّيْلِ, like you've prayed the entire night. And then now the Imam will come and tell you, Sunnah, or you say, Sunnah, I pray 2 rakah and you sleep. If you are home, it's 2 rakah you want to pray, it is 2 rakah. If it's 4 rakah you want to pray, it is 4 rakah. If you go to the masjid, if the Jama'ah has decided it's 8 rakah, if you pray with them until the finish of that 8 rakah, it's like you've prayed the entire night. They will write you down like you prayed the entire night. It is a blessing. So if you fall asleep, you didn't get up for tahajjud, you got the blessing. Look at this, extra. Imams don't tell you that. But then because those imams themselves, they don't pray Taraweeh. I'm telling you, those imams themselves, they don't pray Taraweeh. They don't. They will only pray the day they are assigned to pray. They will come and pray. And matter of fact, they are looking for someone to praise them. So they are looking for the shorter surah. So they say, me, it's when this Imam Sulaiman, when he's praying, that's when I go, because Imam Sulaiman is fast. When Imam Alpha is coming, Imam Alpha is too long. And that one, he will leave for the Karamokos. This is us. Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam, he said, it is a problem. Now, in the blessed month of Ramadan, it's a month of sadaqah, a month of charity. That is why we give charity in the month of Ramadan. In Sierra Leone, we call sunakati. You give people sunakati. You give. In Nigeria, you give sarah. You give them sarah. I'm trying to sound like you guys. We call it sarah too, but sarah. Sarah for us is when someone died or when we are asking for prayer. You is when you are giving sunakati. You give people food, you give them money, you give them to make them feel like they can. Month of sadaqah. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to be extra plus in giving sadaqah in the month of Ramadan. Listen to the hadith of Ibn Abbas. And we know Ibn Abbas. Sahih hadith fil Bukhari. He said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود الناس وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان. Muhammad was the best. He was so extremely generous in the month of Ramadan. Your beloved prophet was extremely generous in the month of Ramadan. حين يلقاه جبريل. Jibril used to come to visit Muhammad in the month of Ramadan. Hey, ya Allah, imagine Jibril is coming to you. Imagine that. وكان جبريل عليه السلام يلقاه في كل ليلة من رمضان فيدرسه القرآن. Muhammad said, I am generous. In the same hadith, he talked about how Jibril comes to him to teach him Quran. Why am I quoting that part of the hadith? Most sheikhs will just mention the part of the generosity. They will not talk about the Quran. Why? I want to bring you back to tell you that Quran is so important that Jibril will come to Muhammad in the month of Ramadan every night to come and review with Muhammad, make a muraja. Jibril will recite, Muhammad will listen, Muhammad will recite, Jibril will listen and will say, Sadaqta, this is correct. Make sure you are saying it correctly. Muhammad. But us, we don't even read the Quran. We kept, since last Ramadan, in fact, brother, tell me, when was the last time you opened the Mus'haf? When I say Mus'haf, you say, what is Mus'haf? I mean the book, the Quran book, you know, the book. Not the phone, the book. When did you, Sheikh, well, I have it in my phone now. Is that okay? That's the question. Is that, I love when they say, is that okay? The Mus'haf. You kept it under your bed. It's when someone died, the Imam comes to the house, they say, let's read Yasin. The Imam said, do you have Quran? He say, look under the, look on the shelf, look on that other shelf. You don't even know where the Quran is in your house anymore. But you have Ayat al-Kursi hanging. You have Amana Rasul hanging, Kulu Allah hanging. The Quran of itself is not. Portion of the Quran is hanging. The main Quran is not there. If you are taking a dose, take the full dose, my brother. Did you hear me? If you want to take a dose of the Quran, take the full dose, don't take half. If the doctor prescribes a medication and tells you you take 3 times a day, they say you take 60 milligrams 3 times a day. Brother, if you take 30 milligrams 3 times a day, is that what the doctor prescribed for you? Allah gave you the entire Quran. He didn't give you Ayat al-Kursi only. If Allah had wanted, he would send only Ayat al-Kursi. He didn't. You're hanging Ayat al-Kursi. Say my house is protected with the Ayat al-Kursi. The witch will come. They will pass the Ayat al-Kursi. They will go around the Ayat al-Kursi. They go in the side and they enter. They do what they want to do. They come out from the other side. Ayat al-Kursi is not sasa. Read it. Learn it. That's why this Ramadan, I'm going to take the golden ayahs and golden surahs of the Quran. All of them are golden, but some are more golden than others. You know how Shakespeare say, all animals are equal, some are more equal than others? That's what we're going to be doing. Picking the best out of the best. The best out of the best. Now, generosity in Ramadan, it is of importance. Giving, charity. Brother, but if you are about to give charity, my brother, if you are giving charity, if you are cooking, if you know it's cook, you want to cook, please make sure if you're cooking, don't keep the best of it at your home. Brother, you buy $20 pounds of beef. The $15 oil is left in your home. You put all the main parts. It's only two small meat that you put in that big bowl that you put 2 small meat. Don't bring it to me. I want to see the meat. If you are sending, do it like that. I'm not saying for me, but other people when you're sending, give them something that when you see it yourself, you love it. Today we don't do that too. We keep the best for ourselves. We send little just for say, Alaji Boku send for me. Why now? 1 meat, one fish in a stew, 1 fish and 1 chicken leg. And that's the same thing we do when we go for Sarah, when we go for all this prayer, when we serve people food, we say we put food, we take 1 chicken, we put it on top of the rice, and small white rice so much, and they put small stew and 1 chicken. If it's not enough, don't make it. You don't have it, don't do it, leave it alone. If you are doing sunnah kati, make when the person receives it, they should be able to eat it and eat again and say, no, this my brother is my brother, a real brother. Let them eat and bite their finger, let them lick their fingers. No, we want to just for the name. And you know what people do today? You know how we give Sarah today, sunnah kati, you know how we do Sarah? The one that sent for you is the one you are sending for. So it's a osusu. You send for me, you cook, you brought for me. Next weekend, when my wife cooks, she will send for you too. Your other neighbor that didn't send for you, last year they sent for you, this year they didn't say, this one, I don't know what's our problem. You don't care about me, I don't care. We are looking. Who give me, I give you. Who gave me meat, I give them meat. They send for you 3 banana, 3 orange, you look for 3 mango and 3 plum. This is how we do. It's tit for tat. No, that is not what is called sadaqah. Sadaqah you give out of your heart. Now, if you are giving money, if you say, I want to help people back home in the blessed month of Ramadan, Habibi, 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 listen. If you are sending money, don't send $100 and say, Mama, change the $100. Give everybody in the village, everybody in the city next to your house, your neighbors, each one of them, just give them 5 naira. Is 5 naira going to buy you good meal? That's what you're going to calculate. So if you're sending, if it's money, give them something. When they receive it, subhanAllah, they're happy. They're happy. Sadaqah. I know there's time in Nigeria. I know they're viewing in Nigeria and it's getting late there too. I'm going to wrap up in a minute. I have a long hadith that I wanted to present, but I don't know if there's time. Now, Ramadan is the month of Quran. Ramadan is the month of Tasbih. Ramadan is the month of charity. 3 main things that I've given you today. 3. Hold on to this. If you connected to Allah, Allah will help you guard your path. And when Allah helps you guard your path, eating and drinking is not going to be your problem. But if you are not connected to Allah, Allah will allow you to use your path the way you want it. And then to eat and drink will become easy for you. You are not afraid to eat and drink. Imam al-Ghazali. That is his narration. That's how students of knowledge understand things. You read from an imam or a sheikh and a scholar, and then you try to understand what they're saying. And this is how those imams became the imams, because they didn't just photocopy what someone told them. They read it, they read it again over and over, and they try to understand what is in it, and then they give their own interpretation. Today, students of knowledge, they don't have that. They don't have that wisdom, that insight. They don't have it. They only memorize what someone has written in a book, and that's all they are saying. That's it. They cannot explain nothing. They cannot explain on their own. They don't have no brain to explain. My generation will never go astray when people go to learn and come just to argue. So they are learning, we're learning today. It's not because we want to understand, it's because you want people to know that you learn, you are educated, and you argue with everybody that doesn't go with your own point of view. It's a problem. Now, hadith of Abi Hurairah, he said, إِذَا دَخَلَ Ramadan, when Ramadan comes in, it's coming in the next couple of days. Futihat abwabul Jannah. Allah opens the gardens, the gates of Jannah. Immediately they say the hilal, the moon, has been sighted, the Jannah's gates are open widely. Wa khulliqatil abwabul Jahim. The Jahannama gates are shut down, they chain them. Just like prison, it's locked. Wa sulsila fihi shayateen. And shaitan is chained. That's why the sin is not as prevalent as outside Ramadan. Shaitan is chained. Even the Rambas, they reduce the amount of orders they make. You know that? The Rambas, like in Sierra Leone, they will not be open. The Rambas, they will not open. And the ones that are open, they don't order 20 crates of alcohol. They will order 5. Because who drink the most? Muslims. Who drink the most? Muslims. That's why after Ramadan, the sale goes up. Muslims, we are the one drinking. You say, I'm a social drinker. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means when I hear people say that. I try to understand, yet still I can't. Jannah will be open in the month of Ramadan. Immediately Allah, the moon will be sighted. Jannah is open. Jahannam is closed. Shaitan is chained. Now, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he said, فَوَيْلٌ لِمَنْ أَدْرَكَ الرَّمَضَانِ وَلَمْ يُغْفَرَ لَهُ. Listen to this hadith. Hadith of Muhammad. Allah said, I will close the Jahannam. I will open the Jannah, and then I will close Shaitan. Then Muhammad added and said in another narration, from another narration, he said, فَوَيْلٌ لِمَنْ أَدْرَكَتْ رَمَضَانِ وَلَمْ يُغْفَرَ اللَّهُ. Swear and curse is upon the one that Ramadan comes and goes, Allah did not forgive him or her sins from the last year. It's a curse upon you. Now you figure out if you want that curse of Muhammad upon you. He said, if Ramadan comes and goes, Allah didn't forgive you, curse upon you. This is not me cursing you, it's not me swearing you, it's Allah. Muhammad Rasulullah. Brothers and sisters. So now, Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will close the Jahannam. He will open the Jannah. And all of us, another narration, a riwayah, in the evening, Allah will send the angels to come down and ask the believers and say, hey, all you believers, come and ask. I will grant you what you want. Come and ask, I will grant you. And all you who disbelieve, that didn't want to come to ask, far away from me and far away from me. This is another narration of Rasulullah. That's why dua in Ramadan is also called the Shahrud Dua, the month of supplication. See how I'm bringing it to you? It's the month of supplication. Make dua. Don't wait for Babala, or don't wait for Alfanu. Don't wait for the Babalao. Don't wait for the Karamoko. Don't wait for the Sheikh. No, you can do your own dua. Do it yourself. Make your ruku and your sujud and ask Allah in your language. Then you can speak the Igbo. Speak it. Or you can speak the Fulani. You can speak the Hausa. You can speak the language when you're sujud. Ya Rab, Ya Rab, Ya Allah, this and all of that. So brothers and sisters, finally, when Ramadan will come and you fasted, then Allah forgave you. And the day of judgment, a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ramadan, the fasting will appear on the day of judgment in the form of a human being. Hadith of Rasulullah. And then you know what will come again? Will appear in front of you. Quran will appear in front of you on the day of judgment. Two things will appear in front of you in the form of a human being. Ramadan will say, Ya Allah, I made him tired during the day. For my sake, give him Jannah. Quran will say, Ya Allah, I made him tired at night. For my sake, forgive him and give him Jannah. Two things are fighting on your behalf. You have two lawyers. Imagine you go to the court, you have the two best lawyers, Quran and fasting, competing to ask Allah. Ramadan will say, during the day, Ya Allah, I made him tired. He was not eating, he was not drinking, he was tired, he was praying, he was so tired, but yet still he keep doing it. Forgive him. Give him Jannah. Quran will say, no. Ya Allah, for my sake. Both of them want to claim superiority. Quran will say, Ya Allah, at night, after finishing Maghrib, he will stand in Salat, he will read Quran, he will not sleep at night. For my sake, give him Jannah. Ya Allah, the one that fights, let the Quran and fasting fight for you. Let not your three-way line, not your WhatsApp and your Facebook. You don't want them to fight for you because it's going to be calamity upon calamity. Let your Quran and your fasting fight for you. But most of us, what we're going to be fighting for us is our girlfriends, the one in Australia, the one in Canada. Then on top of that, the phone will be fighting for you, against you, and then your WhatsApp will be coming, and the Instagram, and the Twitter, and the WeChat, and the iChat, and the Snapchat, and all the chats that I don't know about, and then end of it, Facebook will come and seal it all down. They will fight for you. It's that fight that you want. You don't want that. So this is a narration. Now, once it's that fight is settled between Quran and the fasting, once the discussion is done, Allah said, I've forgiven him. When Allah said, forgiving him, then now the hadith comes. Muhammad said, Sahlin radiallahu and Sahlin radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Inna fil jannah baban. Quran has already interceded for you. Your fasting has interceded for you. Both of them, Allah said, well, I accepted you both. He can go to Jannah. Now they will call upon you. Ya Ajabuki, Ya Alaji Aliru, Ya Janabasila, Ya Alaji Amara, Ya whoever the person is. They will call your name. They will say to you, come. Inna fil jannah baban, there is a door in the Jannah. Go look for it. That door, a word will be written there. Is the name of that door is called Babu Rayyan. The name of the Jannah, the door is Rayyan. Now you say, Sheikh, how will I know the name is Rayyan? Well, go find out. Start learning Arabic now. Don't look for me and say, Sheikh, go show me the Babu Rayyan. I don't know. You know when we go for Hajj, you're looking for the student. Show me how to go do Tafsir, go here, Makkah, Shafa, Marwa. Next one, you'll be looking for Babu Rayyan. You say, Sheikh, I can't read Arabic. I can't help you. Start learning it. Hopefully, everyone is speaking Arabic on the day of judgment. All everyone, one language, one people, one language on the day of judgment. They will say to you, يدخل فيه الصائمون لا يدخل منه أحد غيرهم يقال له أين الصائمون. The angels will be calling. Where are the announcement will be blasting? Where are the people that fasted in this dunya? Aina sahimun, aina saimun, aina saimun. Come on, follow us. The angels will be calling and you all will come and they will show you that gate. The name of that gate is called Babur Rayyan. And they will say, once you enter, nobody else will enter in that door. No one. It will close after. Only for the people that fasted is for you. This Ramadan. One Ramadan, Allah accepts only 1 year of Ramadan for you. It's 83 years. Some weeks in your lifetime. One Ramadan, if this Ramadan is the best of your Ramadan and you die before next Ramadan, brother, you've worshipped Allah for 83 years. You died at the age of 60 now. You died at the age of 70. You outlived it. Ramadan will give you extra, brother. And I'm telling you now, if you are 50 years, if Allah has decreed that you're living for 80, brother, you have 30 years to go. The last 10 years of your life, you're going to be dealing with some kind of diagnosis and all kinds of things. So you only have 20. And before your life, before you are 25, you were fighting with life. You didn't do much. So your actual life, living life that you are living is between the age of 30 and the age of 50. So basically, we only have 20, 25 years, 30 years to do things in this dunya correctly without any problem. And we are here, say, I have time. Brother, how many people are you buried there? 69, 72, 48, 35. How many people have you buried? Think about that. Don't think you are the exception to the rule. There is no exception to the rule. If anyone should have been an exception, it should have been the prophets. Brothers and sisters, the believer that fasted will enter into the Jannah, and they will have a garden called Babur Rayhan. I know I talk, and you all know me, I talk for hours. I'll talk for 5 hours without stopping, but I'll stop with this final hadith. I promise. Abi Huraira. And this will summarize everything that I've said. If you didn't remember anything, remember all of this that I'm going to say in this hadith. Abi Huraira said, قال الله كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصيام. This is a hadith of Qudsi. Allah said, every work that human being is doing, your salat, your zakat, your hajj, okay? Your salat, your zakat, your hajj, everything else that you're doing in Islam is for you. It's for you. Except for Ramadan. فَإِنَّهُ لِي. Allah said, it is mine. Ramadan, you are doing it for Allah. Allah said, it is mine. وَأَنَا أَجْزِ بِهِ. I am the one that is rewarding for it. وَالصِّيَامُ جُنَّةٌ. The fasting is a shield. Remember when Imam Ghazali said, shield yourself, protect your eyes. Muhammad said, وَالصِّيَامُ جُنَّةٌ. The fasting is a shield. Shield against haram, shield against unhealthy life, shield against sin, shield against forbidden things. The fasting is a shield. وَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ صَاحِمْ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلَا يَرْفُثْ. If any one of you is fasting, brother, stop. Stay away from argument. Stay away from the F, the B, the N, the S, the L. Stay away from any off-word, obscene languages. Stay away from them. وَلَا يَصْغَبْ سِبَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Don't become boisterous in your fasting. Don't stand there and be praising yourself. You know, before in Africa, when I was young, when you're fasting, everywhere you go, you... Who said that you cannot swallow your spit, your saliva? Who said that? People used to gather their spit. They gather it like water, and then when you see that, you almost want to throw up. Why? Don't be boisterous in your fasting, man. Relax. If it comes, let it go down. If it's so much, then you don't swallow it. But if it's something that is just coming, it should go down. Yani khalas, no problem. I'm not telling you gather your spit and then swallow it. Say, that will make me full. Yeah, you fool if you do that. Okay, don't do that. But if it comes in, let it go down. Don't go there everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, I'm fasting. I'm fasting. I'm fasting. Why you are fasting? Left that to Allah because you are fasting for Allah. Now, Muhammad said, if someone comes to you and wants to fight you, أو قاتله, someone wants to fight you, فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي مْرُؤٌ صَائِمٌ. I am fasting. That is the time you want to fast. Someone insulted you, you are fasting. You looked at them, you say, I am fasting. Someone cut you off on the highway and they use the middle finger on you. Instead of you, instantaneously, you want to use your own middle finger too. Why? Remember that you are fasting. Someone cussed you out. Look at them, say, I am sahim, I am fasting. Someone say an off language to you. وَالَّذِي نَفْسُ بِمُحَمَّدٍ. Muhammad say, I swear by the one, my hands in his hand. لَخُلُفُ فَمِ الصَّاحِمِ. The breath of the one that is fasting. أَطْيَبُ إِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ رِيحِ الْمِسْكِ. Is more belovable to Allah than the smell of a misk. Brother, that breath that is coming, some people don't want to fast because they say, I don't like the breath of man. Musa, Allah told him to fast 10 more days because he brushed his teeth. Now someone asked a question, well, because Musa brushed his teeth, why are we supposed to, are you in the time of Musa or are you in the time of Muhammad Rasulullah? That's the question you ask yourself. The Sharia of Musa does not come to the Sharia of Muhammad. So Muhammad used to use miswak. He said if it's not because he doesn't want people to suffer, he will have made miswak as after every waqt to brush your teeth with the miswak. It is sunnah to brush your teeth, brother. So that question about saying that when Musa brushed his teeth and brushed his mouth, he used a stick because he didn't use paste. He used that Allah said, go make fast. That is a narration. It is not a narration that is 100% guaranteed that was the reason. They say maybe it was one of the reasons. And the Sharia of Musa, we are not in the life of Musa. We are not in the ummah of Musa. We are in the ummah of Muhammad. What was permitted in the time of Musa is not permitted in the time of Muhammad. Things that are permitted in the time of Muhammad was not permitted in the time of Musa. So you cannot equate one Sharia to another Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I just want to clarify that. Now, so the breath of the Muslim Even if you brush your teeth, even if you brush your mouth in the morning and at night before you go to bed, you will still have that breath sound. That breath. It's like when you wake up in the morning, they call it the morning breath. You have it, right? You brush your teeth, but you wake up, you have that. You have to go brush your mouth. Allah said the smell of the breath that is coming, the regular smell, not the one of the cigarette. It's not the breath of the cigarette. Allah doesn't love the breath of the cigarette. I'm talking about the breath of the Saim, the one that is fasting. Actually, brush your teeth. You did everything that you're supposed to do, but the smell still comes out of it. Allah said, I love that smell. Then finally, the one that fasted will have two happiness in this life. Two. In this dunya, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Fariha, they will be happy either aftara, when they break their fast, the day of Eid, we are happy. We will be happy. And then, wa idha laqiya rabba, when you meet your Lord, fariha bisawmihi, you'll be happy because you fasted. You will see the reward. You will like, Ya Allah, I wish I fasted the entire year. You will be asking, Ya Allah, I wish I fasted. Wa fi riwaya, and another narration, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, قال الله عز وجل, it's a hadith al-Qudsi, يترك طعامه وشرابه وشهوته. Allah will say to you, you've left your food, you've left your drinking, your water, the things that you love to eat and drink, you stayed away from it, you stayed away from what your heart desire. Min ajli dhalik, you fasted because of me. As-siyamu li, the fasting is me, is for me. Wa ana ajzibi, I am the one that's going to reward you directly. Wal hasanatu bi ashari amthaliha, everyone good that you did in the month of Ramadan would be multiplied by 10. Everyone good, brothers. It is important this month you don't miss any blessing out of it. Take advantage of all of the things that we've talked about. And Ibn Abbas said, Umratun fi Ramadan ta'adilu hijjah. Even to perform Umrah in Ramadan. That's why if people in Ramadan, they want to go for Umrah. You know why? It is the equivalent of doing a Hajj. You have the blessing of doing a Hajj when you do Umrah in the month of Ramadan. That's why the last 10 days, most people that have money, they go for Umrah. It becomes more, people go a lot inside the Ramadan because of this hadith of Ibn Abbas reported in Sahih Bukhari, say al-umratu fi Ramadan ta'dil hijjah, equivalent to fasting, to doing a Hajj of itself. Brothers and sisters, if I want to talk about Ramadan, I will talk more than 1 hour. And matter of fact, I already did more than 2 hours already. This is how we do, and this is how we show. There's so much to talk about. Remember the takeaway in this, that Ramadan is the month of tasbih, to make subhanallah, is the month of Quran. Read Quran, not just listen to Quran. Read Quran, read. It's the month of qiyam, standing, pray Taraweeh until it finish. Don't go and leave early. Some of you go for Taraweeh because the woman that you want to marry goes for Taraweeh. That's why the really reason you are going. When she salam alaikum, she comes out. You are texting. After every salam alaikum, you are looking at your phone. When are we leaving? The woman will say, no, let's pray 2 more. People do that. When are we leaving? 2 more. When you finish the Taraweeh, it's the month of Taraweeh. You get the prayer of praying the entire night. It is the month of being generous. Be generous to people and give what you love for yourself. Give the best of what you love, and then stay away from cussing. I'm giving you a recap. Stay away from cussing and fighting in the month of Ramadan. If someone wants to cuss you or fight you, tell them you are fasting. Remember that the breath that comes out of your mouth is a breath of misk. Allah loves that smell, and know that the Quran and fasting will intercede for you on the day of judgment. And when they intercede for you, you will enter in a gate called Babur Rayyan, and that is the Babur Rayyan. And the women, if you are fasting, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you don't need to enter Babu Rayyan. You can choose from any of the 7 gates of Jannah for you to enter. And I said that hadith last night. The women, you don't have to go through Babu Rayyan. You can choose any of the gates if you did what you're supposed to do. Barakallahu fikum wa sallallahu wa sallam. Subhanakallahumma wa hamdi. Nashhadu an la ilaha illallah, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayhi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Shukran. Thank you very much, Sheikh Sulaiman Yassin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. This is a wonderful presentation, and I can't say much, inshallah. May Allah reward you. I just want to recognize our sister from London, Sister Fatmata Assuming. I want you to say a few words before we go to question and answer. Sister Fatma. Sister Fatma, unmute yourself, please. Sister Fatma. Okay. Well, we're going to continue. Brothers and sisters, Sister Fatma, I've sent you the link to unmute yourself if you do want to say a few words before we continue. Okay. Bismillah, Sister Fatma.
Yes, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I just wanted to say Jazakallah khairan, our Sheikh. I'm listening for the first time, but Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward you and may Allah give you Jannatul Firdaus and all the listeners, inshallah, because you have really prepared us for the Ramadan as the intention was from the organizers. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. We cannot thank you enough. And I think Sister Buki did did the right thing in the honor that he gave in the beginning, and we should give the honor where it's deserving. And we can all make dua for you, inshallah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in knowledge and give you Jannat al-Firdaus. The other thing that I wanted to say is, subhanallah, it was 2 hours, but it didn't sound like 2 hours, so please don't feel guilty. I could have loved for you to go for another hour if possible. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that blessing, and I'm so grateful that you are able to share it with the rest of us. And I pray that this is going to be the beginning for most of us going forward, like you've emphasized, that use this Ramadan to ensure that we get to Jannah Dhul Firdaus. And then finally, because I know we are taking too long, I just wanted to emphasize the work that our sister is doing in trying to get more people to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, starting from where they are. Okay, so Sheikh, I know that you have people that follow you from the Facebook. Please, again, because we've just realized the reason why I love Simplified Heart is because I've just realized, subhanAllah, sometimes you're talking to the converted, okay, and it's so important. And I really liked your lecture because you are addressing the non-converted as well, mashallah. But normally when the non-converted don't come to the platforms. So I'm so grateful that Simplified Heart is trying to get to those people. So please take a moment before you leave to make sure that you introduce Simplified Heart to your followers as well, so that they can get in a way that our sister can meet them where they are, and then take them to platforms like yours and many more, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Sister Fatma. And we're going to go to Sister Salma. Sister Salma Ade Tutu. Sister Salma, please. Sister Salma, please unmute yourself. Okay, Sister Salma, 1 minute, please. Let me find you. Okay, Sister Salma, unmute yourself now, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to say Jazakumullah khairan to Sheikh. I am listening to him for the first time, and I would like to you. I can say that everything that he has shared on here today is very relatable, very understandable with his simple words. He's very, very understandable. May Allah reward you abundantly. May it count for you as a good intercession on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. We appreciate you. While you were talking, I have followed you. I have Googled you. I have gone to check everything, and I'm going to start following you too. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. I am so glad that you're young and you can carry people along. I saw those that are watching on your Facebook page, and I'm so proud of the work that we're doing here. May Allah reward you abundantly. On Simplified Hearts, our plan, our intention is to make the beauty of Islam simple for everyone to see, because Islam is not hard. It is a very simple, straightforward religion, and our intention is to let people see the beauty of Islam. And Sheikh, you have just done justice to this for us as our maiden edition. May Allah reward you abundantly. We say Jazakallah khairan. We say Jazakallah khairan to all of our viewers too. We say that may it be a benefit to you all on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, even in your life. We say thank you, everyone. We appreciate you very much, Sheikh. We would, as much as possible, want to bring you back more and more, and I hope you would want to come back and share your knowledge with us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thank you for us. And I thank the team of Simplified Heart. May Allah reward every single one of us abundantly.
Barakallahu fiik, inshallah.
Salma, Sister Buki, you want to introduce the two brothers in Nigeria, our representative in Nigeria. If you can just introduce the two brothers so they could say a few words before we go to the question and answer.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Make it quick,
Thank you,
please.
sir.
So quickly, viewers on Facebook, if you can just stay right there in the station, don't move. We're about to go into the question and answer session. You don't want to miss those questions. Stay right there. These are things that people will always be asking. You want to get it clear before you start the Ramadan. You don't want to enter into something that you don't know what to do. That would be something that will not be good for you if you enter into something that you don't know what to do about that thing. So stay right there in the platform. Inshallah, we'll get back to you in a second. Inshallah khair.
Also, what Sister Fatima said a few minutes ago, Simplified Art is now a registered organization, a tax-exempt organization, registered in the state of Maryland. So if you want to give donation, you can do that. And currently, we are doing some charity work in Nigeria. We've been providing food for people who are needy, people who need your support. So if you want to give your support during this month of Ramadan, inshallah, that'll be good. You can reach out to me or you can reach out to Sister Buki, whatever contribution you want to give us as charity towards Ramadan, inshallah, we'll make sure that you reach out to the needy people. You know, it's not going to be based in Nigeria, but we are trying to reach out to the West African community, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Especially people who are in need. So there are two representatives we currently have in Nigeria right now, and both of them are on the line. Brothers, if you are on the line, please say a few words so that we can continue the program.
Inshallah. Thank you, sir. Jazakallah khairan.
Okay.
We have on ground in Nigeria, we have Bara Wasil in Lagos. He's on the line right now. Bara Wasil, would you like to give us a few words? Thank you.
Wasil, please unmute yourself and let's do it.
Yeah, I just did. Thank you very much, Brother Bakar. And personally, I would like to express my unreserved appreciation to our speaker. He has really done a great justice to the subject matter. And personally, I'm able to note something which I think going forward, it should be a form of guideline on the way I serve God. Thank you once again. And regarding the food distribution, so far we've made progress, and the footage will be available for the public to see.
Inshallah.
Regarding our transparency and how we take the needy as our essence priority. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you. Bara Tawheed, Bara Mayowa, is it still on the line?
Yes, ma. I'm on the line. I'm on the line.
Alhamdulillah.
You want to say something?
Bara Tawheed.
I don't have much to say than to thank you guys. May Almighty Allah be with you, guide you, and protect you, and continue to enrich your pockets. I'm using this opportunity to thank all our donors. In fact, you did a good job. May Almighty Allah enrich your pockets.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said, the two brothers working currently in Nigeria, we've identified people who are in need of food. This organization currently is providing food for 3 families that are needy. Throughout the whole month of Ramadan, we're going to provide food for them. And then we are currently giving out charity to 110 people.
120, sir.
120, yes. We currently
121.
Okay, alhamdulillah, the number is growing. Yesterday they do all the packaging of the food that they're going to be distributing before the start of Ramadan. This is just to help those families that need help to have something to break their fasting when they finish their fasting. So again, we want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity, and we also want to thank you for your support. For those who have supported the organization, we want to thank you, and we hope, inshallah, you will do more so that we can continue to do what we're doing. Again, it's a young organization, even though the ideas have been there for over 7 years, but we are currently now registered in the state of Maryland. We have our tax ID number. We have a bank account being opened. It's a full-fledged registered organization. So your support is highly needed, inshallah. So at this time, we're going to open the line for question and answer. If you want to ask a question, raise your hand or let us know that you want to ask a question or make your comments on the chat line so that we can read it out so that the Sheikh will answer it. Bismillah. So the floor is open for question or comment now.
We have a sister, Power of Love. She's been raising the hand.
Okay, let me go back and look into that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sister Tower of Love. Sister Tower of Love, unmute yourself, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.
Mute you. Sister Tower of Love.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen, mashallah. I'm very happy. I'm super excited. I'm overwhelmed when I see this Simplify today's show come up and everybody turn up the way it is today. I'm so happy. And all my gratitude goes to Almighty Allah. I'm a very big fan of Simplify from the beginning, since the inspiration was coming to Sister Buki, little by little, and till date, and forever, mashallah. So, Sister Buki, I'm going to say good job to you. May Almighty Allah answer your prayer more. May Almighty Allah make your dream come true than your expectation on this Simplify. It's been a very long time you've been planning it, that God has been inspiring you, giving you some signs. And alhamdulillah, I'm actually shivering right now because I see you coming through. And I know the sky is going to be the limit, mashallah. And secondly, yeah, Sheikh Mufti Man, you might not know me, but I'm a big fan of Saturday night live show. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It's like I'm looking at a different person today because it's like you have the energy from your show together with Simplify and it's just flowing more. I'm like, oh my goodness. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm very happy. Sheikh, may Almighty Allah strengthen you. Continue to strengthen you. Increase your strength. I pray as you are all taking all of us together, like let's keep going, let's keep moving on the train, let's keep going on this Simplify. May we all go together to follow Prophet Muhammad to the Al-Jannah Firdaus on the day of judgment. None of your efforts will go in vain. Every second that you have been spending on the way of Allah, on the Saturday Night Live show, on Simplify, on all the programs they invite you that you go, may Almighty Allah continue to count it as blessing and give it to you. May Allah bless you than your expectations. May Allah crown all your efforts. May Allah bless all your family members. Behind a successful man, there's always a woman. I also say thank God for your wife. May she continue, may God continue to strengthen her. Because for a man to come out and have happiness in his heart and you can see the happiness, the wife is making him happy. So I'm going to say kudos to your wife and may Almighty Allah continue to strengthen her.
Amen.
I'm going to say thank you to all our brothers and the representatives of Simplified in Nigeria and all the donors. I heard about the food drive they did in Nigeria today. I'm like, oh Lord, I want to donate all my pockets, all the coins I have, because I know everybody is suffering in the world and Nigeria is one of the richest countries. And also we have overpopulation of the poor people in Nigeria as well. So no matter how much, I'm going to advise our donors to continue to put a little more as they can.
Thank you, sister.
None of the pennies. Allah said, "Is not good. You will always forgive me if I don't quote it right, Sheikh." I can't be quoting Quran where you are, but Allah says He will always reward goodness with goodness.
Inshallah.
So please, everybody, please help us to donate more. And may Almighty Allah crown our efforts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Madina Injai, please unmute yourself.
So just we know that Facebook people are not seeing the people that are talking, so we're gonna lose that train if If we don't get the
Yes.
question, start
So
going
let's
in
make it
as quick.
faster.
Let's do,
Yes,
yeah.
inshallah.
Yes, Sister Medina, go ahead, please. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, thank you everyone. I'm a sister from the Gambia.
Ah.
I thank Allah that I come across Mufti Yasir on Facebook, and I think I added him just to be listening and learning much from him. And thank you very much for bringing me to that path of my maker. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I might not say much because I'm new here, and yeah, as time goes on, maybe I might get the confidence to speak like every other. Yeah. My question about this Ramadan is I am diabetes, and I'm taking an injection called Trulicity. That injection, when you take it like once a week, it doesn't make you feel hungry, so that I can suppress the appetite, so that my sugar level can go down. So does it have anything on my fasting? Inshallah.
Inshallah, we'll get to that question. That's a beautiful question of diabetes. I'll write that down for Sister Medina. Once the team, the Simplified Hearts, once you're ready for questions, I will start with that question.
No, it's
and then
I'll check you guys the question. Right.
Sorry.
Okay, so no, that's good, inshallah. So for the viewers, the sister is asking about diabetes in general. Just put it that way. If you're on an injectable medication that will suppress the hunger in you, you know how diabetes works in different ways. It's just not one way. Some people is to reduce the sugar, and some of them is to increase the sugar because their sugar goes down in different ways. And she's asking that if she's fasting, if it has any effect. Based on the knowledge that I have when it comes to diabetes and what the ulama are saying when it comes to that, you can stay fast at that point. You can stay fast because it's not something that is going to make you drop your sugar low when you fast, right? With the injectable that you're taking, it depends on what time. If it's an injectable that you can take before Fajr, after you eat your suhoor, take it before you start the fasting. And if it's something that you can take just after the iftar, you can take it and still fast between that period of time. That concept of saying that it's suppressing the hunger, that's just the form of the medication that is made, and you still want to get the blessings of the Ramadan. You know you're not taking it because you want to suppress your hunger during Ramadan. Outside Ramadan, you're still going to take it. We'll recommend that you continue with your fasting. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. May Allah accept it from all of us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that I have a few questions from the chat line. Say, can you sit and pray when heavily pregnant?
If the sister is asking if you're heavily pregnant and if you are allowed to sit and pray. I don't know how heavily can you be, like if bending down is going to be a problem. Yes, it is allowed for you to sit down at that point in time and pray. But if you can bend easily, it's not just because you're pregnant. You say, well, because I'm pregnant now, I'm going to sit and pray. That is not the concept. But if it's the point that you can't bend, there's certain stage that the woman goes in pregnancy, even when they lay down, they cannot lay down properly. It's hard for them to lay down. They have to look for a specific position that might switch them today, tomorrow it doesn't. The baby doesn't want that area anymore, and they have to switch. When it comes to Salah, if you reach to that position that bending down is gonna feel like you're suppressing, you can't catch your breath and you're losing your breath, then it is recommended for you to sit down and pray at that point in time. But if it's just the beginning of pregnancy and just saying, oh, I'm pregnant, I'll sit and pray, Sheikh Mufti said that's not what we're saying. You can still stand and still pray. But when you get to that point, yes, it is permissible for you to sit down and pray, inshallah.
From Facebook, when you're cooking during Ramadan and you're fasting, are you allowed to taste the food?
We've got that question on the Saturday Night Live, and I'll go back and say it again. When it comes to tasting the food, Imam Hanbali, rahimahullah, he said that he prefers not for you to taste the food while you're fasting. Imam Hanbali said, but hadith of Abu Qudama said, reported by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that it is allowed for the woman to taste. not for her to swallow what she's tasting, just to have just feed that taste bud and spit it out and let it go. It is allowed for the woman to do that when she's cooking. That doesn't mean that the man should say, well, I'll start cooking so I can taste. No, I'm saying the woman is allowed. It is allowed for them. But Imam Al-Hambali said, he prefer not for you to do it. I would personally too recommend that. Subhanallah, the nafs can get to a point that you want to do it, and then you're tasting multiple food. By the time you finish, you've tasted 5 food, you're already full. You're already full. You're swallowing all that saliva. So that's why Imam Hanbali is saying that he would prefer not to. But the hadith of Abu Qudama reported by Ibn Abbas said, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it is permissible for the woman to taste, just to get the taste bud, just the taste bud, not to swallow it. So, sister, you're making fish, you're making chicken, you're making this, you're making stew, you're making cassava leaf, and then you taste cassava leaf, you taste the stew, you taste the okra soup, and then if each one of them are going down, you're full now. You already finished eating. You're full. You're full, because the system is very sensitive when you're fasting. The system can taste and sense everything. So you should be it's a gray line that you want to be, if you're going to tread in that line, you should be very, very careful. That's all I will say. If you're tasting, you should be very, very careful so that you do not break your fast. And inshallah, what I see our parents before, they will just put a little bit in their tongue and then they will spit it out and rinse their mouth and they move on. Our sisters today, I don't know if they can do that. They'll say, well, I can taste, and then you go down and then take and subhanallah, the men will start cooking too once they know that they can taste. May Allah have mercy upon us all.
Okay.
Please, I have a question.
Yes, we're going to come to you. Just hold on. Aja, we have Aja to be aka Mariama Mara.
Salam Muhammad. Salam Muhammad. The question, I only have a question for the 2 sisters in Nigeria. I just want to partner with you guys with the donation thing. I'm a big fan of helping the needy. So if you don't mind sharing your number with me, I'll be happy. Okay. That's it.
I'll send you the number.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much. We're going to go to a question from the chat line.
Brother Bakar.
Yes.
May I ask a quick question?
1 minute, please. Okay, there's a question.
The sister that just spoke, I just want to get her name again.
I will do that. I'll send it to you.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Okay. So if you are on dialysis, can you fast?
There are different types of dialysis. There's different types of dialysis. It's a disease, there's a sickness that you have that we all know. It depends. There are people that does their dialysis at night. It runs at night, and by in the morning they are done. They can move around. They're able to. If you are able to fast, you can. If you are not able to fast, based on how far you are with your dialysis, the Quran says, وَإِن كُنْتُم مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ. If you are sick or you're traveling, you can pay it after. If you are of a disease, a diagnosis that will hinder you completely from not fasting, this is something that you want to discuss with your doctor first, to say, is it safe for me to fast while I'm on dialysis? If the doctor say no, then you're under the category of being sick and you are not allowed to fast at that point in time. But if the doctor say yes with the dialysis, because like I said, we have peritoneal dialysis and we have the what is the second one? I forgot the name. But
Hemodialysis
and the peritoneal dialysis. I don't know which one you're doing. You're saying one general dialysis, and they all run in a different form, and it depends. So if you're doing the hemo, for example, which you are going to go into a clinic and you sit there the whole day and they process the blood and it goes out and they try to clean it, and it's a very cumbersome, it will not be recommended for you to fast at that point in time. But if you're doing the peritoneum, most likely you're doing it at home by yourself. It cleanses off after Maghrib. That's people, most times they run it during the night, and by daybreak you're done. And if your doctor say it is safe for you, then we'll say, the ulama will tell you it is safe for you to fast. But it's all depend on what your doctor say. If your doctor says it's not safe for you at that point in time, you are categorized under the people that are sick, because we know people that are on dialysis are really sick. May Allah give them shifa.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. We're going to go to Aja Bandu Gara.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Mufti.
Alaikum salam.
Let's go back to the diabetic. Like for the newly diabetic and they're trying to adjust and they're on oral medication, and then just try by fasting, and then couple of hours, then their sugar drop.
They cut the fast, they stop the fast right there and then and eat something. You stop the fast. You're fasting, you're diabetic, and your sugar drops, and you start shaking, and you're sweating, and you're having all the signs and symptoms of hypoglycemia right there and then. You stop the fasting and you eat something. You stop it right there and then. Right there and then. Stop.
Okay, another question from Facebook. So I'm working in the nursing home, always praying in the rooms, but I make sure the rooms are clean, but have to hide. Is that okay?
Subhanallah, you're hiding from people, you're not hiding from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has seen you. I would rather let my supervisors know that I would love to pray on my breaks. I want to pray, and inshallah, most of the time, I don't think they will have any issues with that. But you don't want to be in a position when you're praying, you're worried that someone sees you, something's going to happen. So your attention is not going to be on the prayer. You're listening for every footstep that are coming down the hall. That's where it's like when they say when it is standing in front of you, eat before you go pray. They don't want anything that will make your mind run away from the prayer at that point in time. It's the same thing. If you are pressed, you want to go use the bathroom, and time is the adhan is going off or the imam is praying, they didn't tell you go pray and say, let me squeeze it, let me wait till salam alaikum and run. No, don't do that. Don't squeeze nothing. Go stop, go pray, go use the bathroom, and then come and pray. It's the same thing when it comes to hiding in salah. Hiding in a position that if you feel like you're going to get caught and you're going to get in trouble when you're praying, your attention all is there. Subhanallah, inshallah, I'm not going to, inshallah, it's going to distract you completely from your salah. Let them know that you're going to be praying and I'm taking my break and I'm praying in this room because no one is there and I've cleaned it, and pray or find somewhere else and let them know. But if you're going to hide, just make sure that it's on your break time, that nobody's going to be looking for you when nobody's looking for you at that point in time. Because then when people are looking for you, they start calling your name, especially if you're working in the hospital or working in a nursing home, that they have that pager, they will be paging, nurse so and so, room 16, now so and so, and you hear your name and you're praying. What do? You have to cut the prayer, and then you're gonna have to come back. And so you don't want to put yourself in those situations that is very, very tight, that will make your mind run away from the salah. Because when you're in the salah, you should be concentrated in your salah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, we're going to take.
I have a question, please.
Hold on. Oh, Sister Mayam, go ahead. Sister Mayam, go ahead.
Salamu alaikum, Sheikh Mufti, and everyone. My question is like, some of us that work in the medical field, and you have a client that will ask you for alcohol, and in that situation, what do? They want you to give them the alcohol, and sometimes you can say no, and sometimes if you say no, you get in trouble. So is that something you have to let your supervisors know right away on hiring process? Or
I'm not sure which medical part of the medical field that you're allowed to give alcohol to a patient, because most of the time when you have patients, they're on medication, they want them to stay away from alcohol. So I don't know which side, if you're in a group home that they live in their own home.
I'm in a nursing home, and sometimes they have wines in their room, and they will tell you to pour it in the cup and give it to them for dinner time.
That is a gray line too. It is not allowed for a Muslim to serve alcohol, period. That's it, khalas. No excuse, no. Who you working for? You're working for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who you working for? When you work in this dunya, you're working for yourself. When you work for Allah, is different. So the job that we always say I'm in this field, that field doesn't negate the Sharia of Islam. Regardless of what field you are in, it's not more important than Islam. Islam oversees any field in life. And in one good thing about nursing field, if it doesn't work for you, you move, you leave, and I guarantee you get something else. And when you leave something because of its haram and want to look for halal, Allah will bless you with something that is halal. So, when I just came to America, I was shy to say certain things when I go for interviews. These days, when I go, the first thing I tell them, me on Friday, I'll go pray Juma. I will tell them, I might come back some Friday, I will come back some Friday, I will not come back. I will put it there. You want to hire me, Bismillah. You don't want to hire me. I know I have the luxury of looking for more position because I am in that field. In nursing field, you have that luxury. You can quit job today, you can get fired today. Tomorrow you're going to start. They're not even going to call your last employer to find out about you, except if you're in management or stuff like that. So when it comes to alcohol is forbidden to touch, share, and whatever. I will not touch it. I will not tell someone to go touch it. and I'm not going to tell the aides to go do it for me. And subhanallah, you can let your supervisors know that, you know, this is not medication. This is not medication. This is alcohol. I cannot, it's against my deen to do that. I will tell you, I will give you an example. When I left Misra, when I left Egypt, the first country I went to in Europe was Spain, Madrid. I spent some time in Madrid, then I was sent in a place called Sigüenza. When I lived in Sigüenza, I was in a Catholic building. They were housing people that are coming that don't have no relative in Spain. I'm giving you a background that probably nobody knows, maybe except my family. Subhanallah, we in that Catholic place, you are required to go to the Catholic service in the evening after Maghrib every day. And I have a brother that lives in London now that can attest to that. We call him Solo. And then they require you to work either in jardineria, which is garden to, you know, do, or you clean the street under their Catholic, or you work in a restaurant. We're not getting paid. The Catholic mission is getting paid for those people that are living, because you are living in their building, in their hostels. They will send you somewhere to go work. The payment goes to them. Basically, they're not paying you directly. So now I started with the jardineria. When we go on the street, we'll, you know, cut the trees, trim them, clean the parks and stuff like that. Little boy, I was 17, barely, subhanallah, barely 18. And then I realized that this is not for me. So I went to the mission and I told them I can't do this. I want to do something else. I said, I want to do the restaurant. So they said, okay, that's what you want to do. I said, yes. And I went in there. So when I went there, I realized it was just 2 weeks before Ramadan. The first 2 weeks, we were training how to hold the glass cups and all of that. And then inside the month of Ramadan, the first day they say we should go serve. And the first thing that they have there was an alcohol wine bottle. They say, I should go serve it. The guy came to me and said, go serve it. I said, I'm not doing it. And he said, why? I said, because it's against my religion. He said, well, you're in the Catholic mission. It is, we are okay with it. You have to do it and you're working. I said, no, I can't. They called the mission. When they called the mission, they called me. They said I should go back to the office. And I went to the office. Me and this brother called Solo, he's in London. He was the one actually even pushing me. He said, you know more than me. You talk. So we went. When we went there, the mission, they asked me, why you don't want to touch the alcohol? I said, because it's against Islam. I can't do it. I'm sorry. You can send me back to Madrid. I can leave and be on the street, but I am not going to do it. Subhanallah. I don't have nowhere to sleep. I have no family, no one, absolutely. This is a story that I don't talk about that much. Then the next thing they did was to have a Muslim guy that came from another not Arabian nation. I don't want to call it a nation, but it's from one of the North Arabic nations. North, if you know the North, you know, between Morocco, Nigeria, Algeria, those places. I'm not going to list the name of the nation. And they call this guy, he works for them. He's the one that was he interprets for Arabs that comes that needs help, he interprets. And then they said, well, this guy said it's okay. Islam said it's okay. And he comes to me and he says, Salaam alaikum. I said, alaikum salam. And he said, but why you don't want to do it? I said, well, why will I do it? He said, but what is wrong with it? You're working, it's only work. Allah knows that you're working. I said, brother, look at me. Are you Muslim? He said, yes. I said, boy, I just saw you just finish smoking cigarette just not too long ago. It's Ramadan. Are you fasting? He said, well, I don't fast because I work. I said, brother, don't come and talk to me about Islam. Walk away from me. Get out. That's exactly the word I told him. Get out. I'm not talking to you no more. I went back to the mission. I told the mission, I said, that guy is an hypocrite. He's called Munafik in Arabic. I said, he says he's a Muslim. He doesn't fast. And that's how they used to fool Muslims and get them into what they want. I'm saying all of this to say that sometimes you can let go of something that you really need because it's haram. Allah will replace it. And wallahi, Allah replaced it with something that was much more better. We made money out of the next job that me and that brother got, that they are actually paying us in salary in our hands. Rather than they pay the mission, they were paying it in our hands. And that's the money we saved that we paid for ourselves to come to the Netherlands. SubhanAllah, Allah makes ways out of things. And I'm saying this, sometimes we can use the job and say, I am in this field. The field is not bigger than the field of Islam. I hope I answered that question. Barakallahu feek.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikh.
Yes, you did. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you.
Two more questions, and that will be the end for today's program. Inshallah, we are planning to do every Sunday in Ramadan. We'll have a program, and we're going to bring Sheikh back. We have a wonderful speaker. We have a sister. She is a wonderful speaker that's going to be talking to us on one of the Sundays, inshallah. So at this time, I'm going to take this question from Facebook or from Sister Fatmata Ba. Are we allowed to fast the Sunnah fast tomorrow because it is one day before Ramadan?
So there is a narration. There is a narration that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually said that day of doubts. That day of doubts is said to stay away from fasting. So I am not sure if tomorrow is the doubtful day. But if it's tomorrow is the doubtful day, then yes, you don't need to fast on the doubtful day. Okay, there's a narration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that this cannot come to mind in the Arabic form right now, but subhanallah, yes, the last day before, it is not recommended to fast on that day before the night of the Taraweeh, the doubtful night, like the night of the 29th or the 30th. Say I'm going to fast and then start the next day, like you're continuing the Ramadan. They want you to have a break at least a day before you start the actual Ramadan. It is a narration, an authentic narration in the hadith, I think in Tirmidhi, inshallah, that is mentioned about that. So yes, if it's that the day tomorrow, subhanallah, I don't follow. I just wait for the moon to be someone to tell me it's sighted, and then that's why I don't go with calendars. I just go with the people saying it's sighted and let's fast, and that's what I go with, and I start fasting. And you don't have to fast if tomorrow is that day that is the doubtful day. Barakallahu fikum.
Okay, there's a praise comment from Belgium for you, Sheikh Yassin. The person is saying, Alhamdulillah, we are happy and proud of you, Sheikh Mufti Yassin. Keep it up. May Allah bless you and your family. We say many, many thanks to you, to our African queen, for taking good care of you. So, Sister Khadija, you're getting praise also from the brother or the sister who sent this message. Say, mashallah, we always join the train, 101 to Jannah. That's one of the last message we get.
Yes, so quickly, I think, alhamdulillah, may Allah bless that brother or sister, whoever that wrote that, and inshallah, we thank Khadija for her support also, and everyone else that has been supporting us one way or the other, in or out, because we can't do this by ourselves. Bi'idhnillah, is with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhammad was given the sahabas of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali, and then on top of that, Allah had given him, prior, he gave him Khadija, and then after Aisha, and all of the other wives that came after, and subhanallah, we want to thank each and every one of you. One thing that I just saw that someone was asking, what are the halal food or the healthy food that we can eat in the blessed month of Ramadan? Brothers and sisters, if that is something, once it's halal, you just want to make sure it's healthy for you. Fruits, vegetables, these are things, this is basic nursing. This is not even Islam that says that Muhammad said tamar. Do you know tamar is very, very healthy? Very, very healthy. Tamar is very, very healthy. So much nutrient in tamar. Most of us don't eat it. We start our iftar with heavy meal. After fasting for 15 hours, you go with rice. You box rice like there's no tomorrow. Like just after fasting for 12, 15 hours, it is not of good for the system. It makes you bloated, it makes you heavy, it makes you tired, and that's why most of us cannot pray Taraweeh, because we eat so much that we cannot even bend down. You're afraid that I've seen people before back home long years ago, they pray and they bow down and they start throwing up. They eat this, they eat that, they eat this, they eat that, they eat here, they eat there. They want to eat for all the hours that they eat. But when Ramadan was not there, they don't eat like that. They eat by time, and then Ramadan comes, they think that they have to make up for all the meal that they didn't eat during the day at night. Stay away from that. Stay away from too much of fried food. Eat less greasy food and make sure you eat things that are healthy. Salad is healthy. Fish is healthy, subhanAllah. If you live with me, you know Ramadan, I don't eat anything else except fish and salad. Subhanallah, that's all I eat the entire Ramadan. Forget about rice, forget about everything else. You know, this is how I live, and I'm not saying you should do the same thing, but we all know what a healthy diet is. Just and eat in portions, things that are measured. Don't eat in extravagant way. Just you think that you make you fill up. And by the way, when you eat too much, it makes you get hungry earlier of the day. You know that? When you're fasting, you eat too much for suhoor. You eat too much the night before. By the time you go midday, by zuhr time, your stomach starts growling. Because why? The stomach is used to having so much food nutrient in the system, and then it's chiming that the chime is doing inside, and you're doing that process of breaking the food molecules in the system and trying to get you to process it. And then that moment after 12 hours is done and it's looking for more, you don't have it, your stomach starts growling. But when you eat a proportion one, it digests that one easily and it flows through the bloodstream easily, and it's less stress on the body. Ramadan should become less stress for the body, not too much burden for the body. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Yuridu Allahu bikumul yusra wa la yuridu bikumul asra. Allah wanted to be easy upon you. He did not want it to be hard upon you. And take that as my end statement. Allah does not want Islam or the fasting to be hard. He wanted it to make it easy. So make it easy upon yourself. Don't make it hard upon you or your spouse. Wives, please, sorry for the husbands. Don't send them to the store every day. Sorry for them. Give them some break, inshallah ta'ala. And they can help, but just sorry for them a little bit. Barakallahu feekum.
Sure, can you take 2 questions? That
Yeah,
would be nothing else.
Yes, that would be. Yes, I have another argument that's supposed to be in, inshallah.
So we're going to go to Auntie Jamila Algali Savage from North Carolina. Unmute yourself, ma. Auntie Jamila Algali from North Carolina, Savage. Auntie Jamie, unmute yourself. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, my question is after Ramadan, you paying, I mean, you fasting, I mean, for carry moon go, as they say, and you paying the debt that you have missed during Ramadan, and you fasting that Monday and Thursday, each, of that week. Can you combine the niyat?
I answered that question last night in the train. That question came last night.
I missed it, and I was watching. I was at work anyway.
Yeah, so I answered that question last night. There's this narration that is being circulating. It's a weak narration. It's not a strong of opinion of the ulama. That's saying that you can combine the intention and you fast your 6 days or your miss fasting, and then you take the same blessing of the Shitta Shawwal. It's a narration that is not of strong opinion of the ulama. It's of the chain of command of that narration is not of strong of a narration. Most of the ulama are saying that you can do that. You can say a combined intention. Say, for example, you miss 4 days of your fasting. Your cycle was 4 days. It lasts for only 4 days. And the Sitta Shawwal is 2. And then you say, I fasted for 4, but then that's it. And I'm only going to do 2 extra for Shitta Shawwal. Where Shitta Shawwal is 6. It's not 4. It's not 2. So that's one thing that you can do that. So the ulama are saying that, remember that the fasting that you're missing in Ramadan is fard. Shitta Shawwal is sunnah. Sunnah. So you complete the fard before you go to the sunnah. You complete the fard, and hopefully I don't have to answer that question again inside the blessed month of Ramadan. You complete the fard, which is the 4 or 6 days that you've missed of Ramadan first, and then you do the Sitta Shawwal. So if you really want to do the Sitta Shawwal, immediately Ramadan done, pay your debt, and then continue with the Sitta Shawwal. It's basically, if it's 6, it's only other extra 12 days that you're going to fast for. Okay. If you die in the process, say you didn't pay Ramadan, you didn't pay the Ramadan, and then you fasted Sitta Shawwal, or you following the moon, you're going to go drop the moon like we always say, and you died, you didn't pay that debt. You have a debt to pay. The sunnah, if you didn't do the sunnah, you die, you're not going to ask you, why didn't you pray, didn't you fast the Sitta Shawwal? They will ask you, why didn't you complete your Ramadan? Why? They will ask you that. And the notion saying that Allah will know that, okay, I did this. No, the ulama saying the hadith that are the authentic narrations that are there, that you pay your debts first and then you do your sunnah. You pay your debts, the sunnah. Yes, this narration is out there. It is a narration that is out there that if you make the niyat, since it's inside the month of Shawwal, and then you make the intention, you're paying your debts, and that one will cover for the Sitta Shawwal. There's that narration, but it's of a weak narration, and that narration is getting more attention because people are looking for something that is easy. People are looking for something that would say, okay, I get both blessings. It's not working like that. I wish there's something that would say, yes, it's good if the proof is there, the dalil is there, but we don't have authentic narrations to say it is a dalil that yes, if you make niyat for Sitta Shawwal, I can pay my debt and say it is the Sitta Shawwal and Allah gives me the same blessing. The narration is a weak one. I will recommend, and I will strongly recommend that pay your debts and then after go to the Sitta Shawwal, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay, brother, what about the Monday and the Thursday fasting that you do each week?
So that is something that comes after. The Monday and Thursday comes after. That is a sunnah of Muhammad Rasulullah that goes for the entire year. It's not only in Shawwal. It's not
No,
only
no,
in
no,
Shawwal.
no. This is an every week thing, you know. But
Yes.
I know the Monday and Thursday will fall into those days. That's why I was asking.
So in the month of Sita Shawwal, if you are fasting the Sita Shawwal and it's in a Monday and a Thursday, you consider that the niyat for Sita Shawwal, not the Monday for
Okay,
Thursday.
okay, that's what I. Okay,
Sunnah fasting.
Barakallahu fiqh.
And
Thanks.
The final question, this is from Facebook, Sheikh. So my daughter wants to fast, but the doctor is saying to her, you cannot fast. So the mother is asking if she can fast half of Ramadan or half a day, something like that.
So it's an open-ended question that is hard for me to give a definitive answer to it, because we don't know what kind of sickness that she had that the doctor says she should not fast. The doctor is the doctor. If the doctor said that she should not fast, the doctor knows her diagnosis and what kind of disease that she has. That I don't know, it can be anything. I will tell you to listen to the doctor at that point in time. You're covered under the saying that if you're sick, don't fast. Except if the sickness that you have, the doctor just don't want to, you know that you don't, it's not that kind of sickness that you can fast easily, okay. But if it's something that is really a disease or a virus or something very, that medically it is not healthy for you to fast, I will tell you to follow the instructions of the doctor. Yuridu Allahu bikumul yusra wala yuridu bikumul usra. Allah want to make it easy upon you. He does not want to make it hard upon you. Allah didn't tell us to fast till we die. He tells us to fast till we meet him, so it gives you more time. So if it's something that will actually affect your health, if the doctor tells you, then follow the doctor. But if it's not a doctor, it's just a pepper doctor like Salon, pepper doctor, you're a pepper doctor yourself, then it is you that you know best. But I will not be definite in answering that question. I hope I get part of the question. Barakallahu fiqh.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in Islam, we've come to the end of today's program. But before we go, we just want to thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And inshallah, we will have another program next week, Sunday. The flyer will be out. Please join us. And if you want to give donation towards the cause, please reach out to myself, Sister Buki, or any members of the team. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Sister Buki. Again, we want to thank Sheikh Yassin. We can't say more than enough, Sheikh. May Allah reward you, inshallah. So, Sister Buki, your closing statement. Unmute, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sheikh Yassin, the description of you that I gave in the beginning was an understatement. And I'm sure everybody will agree with that. You delivered. Mashallah. You delivered. Subhanallah. Thank you. I'm mostly grateful. I called you one time. I reached out to you one time. And it was even almost a short notice, late notice, but you respected Allah through my humble self, and you didn't turn me down. Allah, in His infinite mercy, will not turn down any of your prayer requests that will do you good, inshallah. And like my sister said, Sister Tower of Love, and my other sisters, I would like to thank Sister Khadija for always and always lending your husband to the Ummah, to the Deen. Inshallah, both of you will have the same bedroom in Al-Jannah Firdaus with all your children. Inshallah. Khalifa, I'm grateful. Jazakallah khairan. May Allah in His infinite mercy continue to increase you in wisdom, in knowledge, in understanding, in intellect, and may you not come across any trouble on your journey of life. Every time that you need Allah, every pain that you have, because Allah says He has never created anyone that He will not test, or He will not test with pain. But anytime you have a taste of pain, may Allah always expedite His ease. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
My
very much.
brothers, the team.
Mr. Buki, we want to go to Sheikh for the closing dua now.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah.
Khalifa, I'm grateful. Thank you, sir. Jazakallah khairan.
Inshallah, we want to thank all of you. We want to thank Sister Bouquet. She has been a very strong supporter of the Saturday Night Live also. The 4 or 5 years ago when I met her in Washington, D.C., when the Nigerian Jama of that invited me to spend Ramadan with them for like a couple of days. They paid my tickets, my hotel, my feeding, and they took care of me. That's where I met Sister Boke, and she took my number. And since then, she has been traveling with me everywhere I go. She follows me strongly. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I know she's a lover of the deen, and she's someone that's passionate also, just like me. When we do things, we do it passionately. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give her the reward. And everyone that is supporting the Simplified Heart, we ask Allah to bless you all and bless all of us. And whatever we're doing in different organization, Alaji Aliu, and he's in all organization. I don't know which organization that is left that he is not in. Subhanallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all the Jannah, the gates of Jannah open for you to choose which one you want to go with. That would be the VIP choosement. VIP. When they open Jannah, they say choose which gate. That would be the VIP. Instead of tell you, no, this one, that's why you're looking, but why I don't want to go to that one? They say, no, you didn't get your grade is 80. This is for 90, and the other one is for 100. May Allah make you amongst the 100 people that will choose from any gate of Jannah, and everyone else. Alaji Arun and everybody else that have been supporting and helping us, and people that we don't even know that support us in the background quietly on social media, on Facebook, on Zoom, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and all of this platforms. We ask Allah to bless you all. Let's make niyat today, now, that I'm ready for Ramadan. If Ramadan is going to be tomorrow or the day after, I am ready. What's your janaba now? Janaba is only for who have a wife, or it's not for somebody who don't get a wife. So make sure you make your niyat now and prepare yourself. Look for one imam that you're going to learn Quran from, or one program that you're going to follow the entire Ramadan, and say this Ramadan will be the best of my Ramadan. If it's going to be my last Ramadan, should be my best Ramadan. We ask Allah to make the Ramadan coming, the best of our Ramadan be the last one. I'm not saying this one, but whatever one will be the best one should be our last one, because there will come a Ramadan that you're not here. So that one that you passed, that you died after, should be the best one of your Ramadan. May Allah accept it from all of us. Let's make our niyat. We ask Allah to accept our niyat that we want to fast in Ramadan and make it the best for us. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك نبنا وإليك المصير. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وإليك يرجع السلام. حينا ربنا بالسلام، حينا ربنا بالسلام، ودخلنا الجنة دارك السلام، ودخلنا الجنة دارك السلام، ودخلنا الجنة بغير حساب. يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم اجعل ما أشاء مخلفا لما تشاء، كي يسير ما أشاء مخلفا لما تشاء، وما أنا تشاء خلاف ما الله يشاء. لو جهد عبد وشاء ما كان إلا ما تشاء، فالطف بنا فيما تشاء، وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين، وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم اجعلنا عبدا شكورا، واجعلنا عبدا كريما، واجعلنا عبدا شكورا، واجعلنا عبدا كريما، واجعلنا عبدا شكورا. اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم أهله علينا بالأمن والإيمان والسلامة والإسلام وتوفيق لما تحب وترضى. اللهم أهله علينا بالأمن والإيمان والسلامة والإسلام وتوفيق لما تحب وترضى. اللهم أهله علينا بالأمن والإيمان والسلامة والإسلام وتوفيق لما تحب وترضى برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى اللهم وسلم على محمد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Allahumma Ameen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Sheikh, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon, inshallah. And Brother Adekunle, Brother Taufik, and Brother Sister Salma, and everyone, inshallah, we need to talk about the event. It was a success, inshallah. So, brothers and sisters, join us next week. We'll put out the flyer, and the time might be a little bit earlier than today, but we will let you know, inshallah.